Howdy, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Ormer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. And we're waiting for Don Hung to return, so we're going to ask around in the lobby for some information. We're playing as Boot Hill, which is so interesting. The way they've done the POV stuff has been really great. It's felt very natural to me. And honestly, like, I feel like they're very accommodating when it comes to, like, you know, me wanting to go back and play as Stell sometimes, or wanting to level up some stuff. But honestly, like, I've been kind of like, not leveling as much, I guess, because I've kind of not been like going into menus or trying not to go into menus as much as possible, because we are on spoiler avoidance code red, and it's going to continue going forward. So, like, as you notice, you might be using the same group, which again, it's not bad having like the Kafka team be our main team for the next while, but that's just the way things go. It's a way to like kind of like make sure that we can like stay in one place without getting spoiled on stuff, which is perfectly good. Hello. And what I mean by that, by the way, is like, you know, the less we go into menus and the less I accidentally, because like, look at the way the menu works. Constantly, like, it's like already I'm doing this. You know, I'm like on the edge of this trying to like get into the mission stuff. One wrong click and like from here, for example, and you're in here. So like it's code red. It's code red.
The Charmony Festival is about to start. I'm so excited.
It's so funny, like when I first heard about the Charmony Festival, I was excited. And now I know that it's probably going to be a very terrifying thing as well, because of all the omens and even the stuff from Sparkle as well.
Hey, you guys here for the Charmony Festival too?
I just love that he has just like this beautiful like pearl grip like gun here on the side here too. That suits his character design very much as well, you know. And I say beautiful not because like I'm like, oh man, guns are beautiful, you know. I mean it just in a way, just like the artistry of it. Like it's a very like I don't know, well designed piece of art as well. Like the white grip with the kind of like red and gold on it as well. It's kind of neat.
Well, I didn't come all the way here specially for the festival. Honestly, I don't really even know what it's about. But I heard it's a lot of fun.
Okay, that's okay.
Well, back in my homeworld, Anaria, we have festivals like that all the time. My dad threw me a birthday party one time that was just as extravagant as the Charmony Festival.
Oh, come on. The Charmony Festival is a once-in-an-amber era event. How can a birthday party compare?
You tell her, honestly, I feel like that's a bit braggadocious, right? To be like, my birthday party's bigger than a festival. It's like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do with that information?
Well, you never know, right? Maybe on her world, birthdays only happen once in Amber Era.
Oh, Boodle being very reasonable.
Anyway, let's forget about that. Have you heard about the, unsettling things happening in the dreamscape?
Buddha, like, genuinely, because here's the thing, right? Like, this girl was very much being braggadocious. She was very much being like, I'm going to, you know, talk up a big game about, like, how, like, oh, like, I'm much more grand than this, you know, 100%. And he could have, like, you know, been like I would, and just be like, you know, okay, cool, you know, that's neat, you know. But he kind of, like, was, like, very, like, you know, okay, like, maybe it is, like, a big thing for you. Maybe birthdays are a bigger thing on your planet, you know? Very reasonable person, you know? But I already got the, like, energy that he is kind of, like, a bit of a gentleman, in my opinion.
Unsettling things? What could possibly go wrong?
Oh.
It better not ruin the Charmony Festival. I've been looking forward to it.
Oh my god.
Relax. With a big event like this, there's bound to be lots of gossip and rumors. Don't worry. If anything does happen, the family will be on top of
There's
it.
that fate that a lot of people still have in the family, right?
Oh, that's a relief. I didn't come all this way to see the festival go down the drain.
Right. And again, like that, like, we've seen this before.
Looks like I won't get any fudging clues on these two. They're clueless.
I love all the replacement swears. No, but, like, again, I love that as well from Boot Hill too, right? Is, like, the fact that, like, he's, like, you know, again, like, 100%, if someone's, like, you know, tried to be like a bit like, again, I don't think I'd ever be rude to someone, but like, you would kind of just be like, okay, that's cool, that's neat, but like, he waited until afterwards to be like, Jesus Christ, they don't know nothing, and he's very, very polite. Yeah, but that showcases the faith that people still have in the family. There's still a thing with the family where even some people have their faith shook, as we saw that. We saw that with Sparkle. She was talking to people. But a lot of people are legit still going to be like, oh yeah, like it's cool. Like, I trust the family. Yeah, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense that people would be acting like this, especially since, like, this is what they kind of like come to penacony for. And it's what penacony's been sold as. Like, oh, you don't have to worry about anything here. The family will deal with everything. And that's what the family wants you to think as well. Even though we've had some people's faith shook, some people still 100% believe that this is fine. Hello, Kochi.
Greetings. I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family, head of security for the hotel. How may I assist you?
You have a nice hairstyle.
Hello. So, there's something I wanted to ask about. I've been hearing some unsettling rumors about certain incidents that might affect the Charmony Festival.
They're very unsettling.
Do you think there's anything to be worried about? I've traveled all the way from the Hayaii Federation, and I don't want my trip to be ruined.
What do you mean?
Unsettling things, like, what if, like, there's, like, a monster or stuff?
Wait, you haven't heard?
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors, but they're completely baseless. I can assure you, as a representative of the Bloodhound family, that everything is going smoothly for the Charmony Festival.
Okay.
At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time. Even the Dream Master himself.
Oh, I know he's arrived.
So don't worry, your trip won't be in vain.
That's a relief to hear. She doesn't appear to be acting.
Yeah.
So, it seems that even the hotel staff are out of the loop.
I got that vibe too. That she wasn't
Back
acting.
already?
Oh my god. Beautiful jump scare. No, legitimately, that's what I got the energy of too, is that she was kind of like, they're trying to keep as much people out of the loop, because the less people that know, the better. You know what I mean? A few people on the cleanup crew, perfect. Yeah. It's 100% like, it's a better idea to, because again, they can't lie or they can't be shaky with their lies if they don't know the truth.
Hasn't she returned yet?
I love this man. I love this man.
Nope. I'm starting to wonder. Sending her to contact Sunday was a good idea.
Yeah.
Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything about what's happening in the dreamscape, and wherever we go, all we see is people enjoying themselves. Definitely not a good sign.
Yeah, and I wonder if, like, it's one of those situations where we're alerting, people, because again, if they can't get a hold of Sunday, they're probably gonna get a hold of somebody and probably it alerts people of our investigation, or at least like that we're here.
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the Oak family is supposed to be in charge of organizing the council and managing everything inside and outside the dreamscape. However, I walked around the hotel but didn't meet a single member of the Oak family on such an important day.
That's such a smart thing to realize as well, right? Yeah, because why wouldn't they be here? Sunday and Robin were here on the first day we arrived to shake our hands. You know what I mean? They were here on the first day of people's arrivals for the Charmony Festival. Like, why would they not be here on the most important day? At least one representative.
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember correctly, the head of the Oak family is that Sunday guy.
I feel like only in name sometimes too, because I feel like even they don't have the same privileges as someone who would be the head of the family,
We shouldn't linger here too long. Let's go back to the express for now.
So not going any deeper.
Not so fast. Have you ever robbed VIPC, bro? If you run away now, everyone will be chasing after you.
Is he saying it's going to be suspicious that if we go now?
Are you suggesting we sit here and do nothing?
I wouldn't say do nothing. But let's stay put for now. Even if the family has ulterior motives, they couldn't have anticipated us showing up here.
Okay.
We're the surprise factor.
So even if we can't do much, we will, if they know we're here, now it's going to be like a thing where it's like, oh God, more things are going out of place, you know? And it does, like, again, franticness and changes and variables do put spanners in the works, you know?
They don't want to attract
People make mistakes
unwanted
then.
attention from certain outsiders, so they won't do anything reckless. See? The IPC lackeys are keeping a close eye on this hotel.
Right.
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factors here. If we just wait here, that would be like walking into their trap.
Okay.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan to the memo keeper. If it turns out we won't be allowed to enter the dreamscape, she'll order a drink for me in the VIP lounge at the hotel. In reality.
Okay, so you have a plan.
A secret signal.
That's right.
Don Hong's voice there sounded like a bit impressed by Boot Hill, right?
A secret signal.
Like he was like, oh, okay, you know? Very cool.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection with you. But Boot Hill, if you have more backup plans in the future, I hope you'll let me know in advance.
Yeah, Don Hong likes to plan.
I'm sorry, but it's one of my quirks. I have too many unreliable friends.
All right.
And if I reveal that I have backup plans, things can go awry. And that would leave all backup plans completely useless.
Right, so he's saying that he's not someone who, like, trusts people all the time, so, like, it's going to take some time to, like, give up his plans to Don Hong as well, someone he just met. But I think a very, like,
the VIP lounge.
a sweet interaction.
This is where my street smarts come into play.
Let's go. Street smarts and, smart smarts for Don Hong, who, like, actually has also ancient smarts and street smarts. So I feel like Don Hong has all those things. But like, no, I love that Don Hong was, like, slightly impressed, like, oh, that's actually really good. And then, like, afterwards he's like, yeah, but just please tell me, you know? Because Don Hong is someone that likes to plan. And I guess what Buddha was saying is so true as well about the IPC representatives being here too, I feel like. And maybe I'm interpreting wrong, but this is the way I interpret it too, is that, like, if, like, they're not going to come down here and arrest Boot Hill and Don Hong, or they're not going to come down here and badger us or annoy us or try to, like, you know, do anything to us, because if the IPC representatives see this happening, they can spread this like wildfire. All of a sudden it becomes like an actual, there's a chest up here, all of a sudden it becomes like an actual, like, national issue. You know what I mean? A Galaxy Ranger and a member of the Astral Express got detained or got, like, badgered or were, you know, harassed by the family. And maybe not with Galaxy Rangers, because I do assume the Galaxy Rangers would be like someone who, like, don't have, like, the same kind of, like, protection, but the Astral Express is, like, well respected around the whole world. If the IPC sees something like that happening, you think they're not gonna, like, use that to their advantage at all? Yeah, very lovely conversation. I think Don Hong was impressed with Boot Hill.
Lobby manager, right?
Yes, I am. How may I assist you?
Thank you.
We're the Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but there's something wrong with your system. The lady at the front desk said she would contact the manager, but now she's nowhere to be found. Now, we've been waiting here forever without any food or water. What the fork, man?
What the fork?
Is this how the family treats its guests?
Oh my god. I love that he's, like, going on full, like, can I speak to the manager mode, but, like, he's doing it, like, for a good cause. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing it to, like, save people's lives. You know? Like, in the end, it's like, okay, yeah, go for it.
Is this your idea of street smarts? Starting an altercation?
As if you're there, are they already, like, as I said last time, like a couple where, like, Don Hong's like, honey, please, let's not do this now, honey. Sorry about him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's, like, the moment we're having here, you know? I don't know. Maybe I just, like, that's the vibe I'm picking up.
It's called standing up for your rights.
He is 100% doing the can I talk to your manager thing, but again, it's for like saving people's lives in the end. So it's like, okay, like we'll let it slide.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday. I'll arrange 2 premium seats in the VIP lounge so you can rest there while you wait.
Complaining worked using the fact, and again, it's not just like, oh, can I speak to the manager? It's also like what Boothill was doing there is knows that the name of the family has to be pristine in a lot of like random comers and goers' eyes, right? Because if it's not, the trust isn't there. And also the fact that this whole place is based on perception. If all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, like I went to the Charmony Festival and the family mistreated me, all of a sudden that story can spread like wildfire. Like, he's definitely smart enough to know that like bad publicity in any way, shape, or form for the family is not what they want, because they rely so much on controlling the narrative of who they are. He's like,
See? Just
the
like
chuckle, the chuckle after winning.
See? Just like that.
I told you, honey. Huh? I told you. You told me. I told you.
Just don't call yourself nameless next time.
Oh my god. Donong is struggling. Listen to the voice actors are so good, isn't?
Just don't call yourself nameless
The
next
shakiness. When do you hear Don Hong being shaky? He doesn't know what to do.
Wow, this bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
Man, such a recognizable place now. But it's not so crazy that like Boot Hill's like complaining legitimately did get us here. You know what I mean? Like you can say what you want about like his wanting to speak to the manager, but the fact is we got deeper. You know, it worked. He did it. Don Hung, now honey, please don't cause any more of a scene. I'm just trying to get our rights. Honey, listen. We're entitled to some type of quality and freedom. All right? All I'm asking for is some extra, like, accommodation. How will I be, what's the word I'm looking for? Compensated for my time, you know? Don't mind him.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. I love this, like, this is like the odd couple relationship you have in like movies, you know, like it's a classic thing, right? Like, you know, contrasting personalities, become friends, do some hijinks.
Hey, I have an order for a bottle of His Donna's White Oak. Can you help us find it?
Has Donna's White Oak? I think there might be a misunderstanding. We don't serve that here.
Oh, no way. Are you sure you're not mistaken?
Can you check the back?
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all. I couldn't afford to cover for such an item if it were broken or lost.
Right, so very expensive.
That's strange. Well, could it be that the memo keeper couldn't afford it?
You think so?
Then what should we do now?
So obviously we know he has a relationship with Black Swan because that's who he's talking to on the, like he has a business relationship with Black Swan because of the conversation he had on the radio, so he was maybe expecting this.
Oh, no need to rush. Well, let's grab some drinks first. Maybe I arrived too early and she hasn't come yet. Now, let's see what kind of juice malts you all have here. Well, give me a glass of Heenum Valley, 40 years. I'll have it neat. No ice.
No ice. No ice.
Wow, that's the most expensive one on the list. You have a taste for the finer things.
It's on the house, anyway.
Oh yeah.
What can I get for you?
Anything you recommend is
Oh, Don Hung is anything you can recommend, guy?
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboon juice. It's refreshing and suits your cool demeanor.
Oh.
Just 1 minute.
Don Hung's cool demeanor. Very cute.
This flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel.
You think so?
Ooh, really hits the spot. Truly the Finest sherry cask aged malt juice in the cosmos.
Legit though, like I think it is like a great dynamic here. It really is. And like just like them two having drinks at the bar is just like it's making me smile. It's just a very, very fun dynamic.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that really something that humans enjoy?
The humans?
Hey, this guy doesn't know anything at all.
I say humans because he is obviously like, you know, Imbibitor Lunae, you know? This guy doesn't know anything at all.
As long as you're satisfied, dear guests, please enjoy.
Let's give the memo keeper another half system hour. If she doesn't show up, we'll need to come up with a new plan. In the meantime, let's take stock of the situation. What do you think?
Donhong's like, your voice is echoing everywhere. Everyone can literally hear us right now.
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. Someone in a position of power within the family must be covering it
Right,
up.
right. Look at his soft face. I'm sorry. Look at him. Look at him right now. Look at him. Look at him right now.
It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools.
Right, and we know that it was...
If what you said about the emanator of the Nihility is true, the situation in penacony is a little complicated, to say the least.
It is definitely complicated. We know that, like, it was actually, now we know that it was Gallagher who invited everybody on behalf of, like, the Watchmaker.
Actually, there's something else I'm concerned about. Regarding Acheron.
Oh?
As you know, the faction that follows the path of the hunt are some of the most dangerous bolts in the cosmos to mess with. Who in the right mind would impersonate the Cienjo Alliance or the Galaxy Rangers? It's like asking for a death wish.
I mean, honestly, like Acheron. Acheron, like, I don't think she cares about a death wish. She's actually so powerful.
Isn't there a saying among the Cienjo people that the Rainbow Sect lets their luck's arrow do all the beating?
Jesus.
Talking. Do all the talking.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, we've been keeping an eye on this region. Even the dumbest criminals know better than to mess with the Annihilation Gang, much less the Rangers.
You need to see how powerful Acheron is. You really do. But I love that, like here's the thing. While Dot is, like, corrected the expression, talking, do all the talking, like, I'm sorry, but, like, you know, Rainbow's like, lets their luck's hour do all the beating. That's what it means. That's what that means, talking, do the talking. And when you say my fists are gonna do the talking, you're basically saying my fists are gonna do the beating. But I love to talk about how, like, all the stuff that Acheron has done, like, no criminal would even think about messing with all these people, but Acheron is legitimately, like, playing with faith. You know, you could say, like, Icarus in a way, once again, flying very close to the sun.
But that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary, she's highly logical and organized. She knows exactly when to hold back and when to strike without
Yeah, I think she's
mercy.
super impressive, honestly, too. I really do.
And do you believe that someone like her would have an ulterior motive for impersonating a Galaxy Ranger?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do have my suspicions. Maybe she knows a Galaxy Ranger, or perhaps she's trying to lure us out for some reason, which I can't figure out.
It's always interesting to see what Acheron could be up to, because we haven't seen Acheron in a while.
Anyway,
Since the start of
what worries me
part
more
3.
are the anomalies within the family. They've summoned followers from various paths for the festival. No matter how generous the family might be, this move seems highly unusual.
Yeah, especially like Annihilation Gang.
Unless the invitations were
Oh my
sent
god,
by-
that hug!
If that's the case, it's even more intriguing that the family insists on organizing the Charmony Festival, despite the chaos.
Yeah, it's important to them. It's very important to them. I love that Don Hung figured this out, by the way. I would say, like, around the same time. Well, no, I guess, like, we didn't, no, I think he figured it out before the rest of the gang, right? Because while they kind of had put this up as a suspicion, like, maybe they weren't the ones who sent it, we didn't know for sure, right? But they did have that suspicion for sure. But I guess he's not saying it's for sure either. I guess he had the suspicion around the same time, and actually in the same place in this pub as well. Just showcases how good they are together, I suppose. Yeah, I think they had it in the exact same place. That idea of like maybe it wasn't them that sent it.
Maybe it's Shipei the Harmony pulling the strings. You find it beyond human understanding because it wasn't arranged by humans at all. People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe in things they know they shouldn't, and fudge, they even break their own rules.
Actually a very accurate statement here for a lot of people, I think.
But eons don't. They stick to their determined path and never turn back, even if they reach a dead end.
Interesting description of eons, right? The idea of like how they like even if like it's the bad choice, they're gonna keep moving forward.
You think Shipei's will is behind all this?
It may not necessarily be Shipei. There's definitely some higher entity involved. I know it may sound pessimistic, but if human free will were reliable, why would we even need
No, I understand what you're saying.
Galaxy
I understand. Like you can't rely on the idea of like humans going down a set path.
It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the hunt, or how the Express stays true to the Trailblaze despite Akavili's disappearance.
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds significance for the Nameless.
Okay.
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for their own choices because their absolutely right leader is gone?
This is a very interesting conversation to me.
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just about following a path that's always considered absolutely right.
Right, and I feel like the Trailblazers have always been about like, you know, like carving a path like that isn't exactly determined, right?
It's more about doing your best
Nice.
to choose the right path for yourself among countless possibilities, even with limited insight and judgment.
Honestly, I love that. I do love that. Like, because I feel like, you know, again, the idea of like walking down one path and never straying from that one path, I feel like it's kind of silly sometimes, especially when like you have like so many variables that come into life. I mean, we saw that on this Yan show, right? Like where we disagreed fully with like the treatment of Dan Hong for a while, and still like the way some people still treat Dan Hong, I disagree with, like, you know, and because that is a path that people walk down, their faith in their eon. And I love that the one great thing about the Trailblazers is that they continuously just like, you know, are very like reasonable people to be around all the time, mostly because even if like you disagree with something they're saying, or like they say something that like, you know, might not be the path that you would walk, at least you can believe in the idea that this was like the best choice that they felt like in their head was the best choice at that time, regardless of what they do. Like, and it makes you have faith in them.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility for their choices, because no one else can do it for them.
True.
That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter and figure out her true intentions.
Yeah, and like I think that's also like goes back to the idea of like eons, right? Like, oh, like I think some people use it as a crutch. I think the eons like are sometimes like, well, like this is what my path wants. We have to follow this, we have to follow that, and look like what's happening here now with the harmony. The harmony is like, you know, but I guess like, you know, the idea the harmony is like I feel like what's happened here in penacony is more, maybe it's, I think it's more just like the idea they went down the path of like the idea of like worshipping and having a symbiotic relationship with the harmony so much that they got too arrogant with it and started like going against like what the harmony truly wanted. So in a way they are using the free will, but the reaction to that was like their god, their eon going against them and corrupting, you know, their use of the harmony. We saw that with Robin, and I wonder if like the fall of Akavili, you know, really helps the fact that like the Trailblazers have to move forward and do stuff by themselves. They have to, because there's not really an eon like that's watching over them, making sure that they make the right, quote unquote, right choice, or corrupting them as soon as they make a choice that is less desirable for them. I wonder.
Just in case. I have a backup plan if the memo keeper doesn't show up. This is my final backup plan.
Okay,
I promise.
you should have told Don Hong about it.
You sure have a lot of cards up your sleeve.
Yep.
Well, going back to my old career would make things a lot easier.
What was your old career?
By the way, when you were walking around the hotel, did you happen to see any important looking guests?
I see 2 right now.
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining chips with the family. Or maybe we can even take their identities.
No need for that. We'll return to the express now.
Look at, I love that like he was so like stuck at like kind of like a rock when he was talking to him, and now like he realizes how kind of crazy Boot Hill is. Listen to the shakiness of the voice.
No need
No.
for that. We'll return to the...
Wait, are you getting scared? Draw your weapon. Let's make a big
We're making a scene.
Are you leaving, esteemed guests? Would you like to cancel that as Donna's White Oak?
Wait,
you
it
just
arrived?
ordered?
Huh? As Donna's White Oak. But didn't you just
Oh my
say-
god, at the exact right moment, by the way. Like he was about to come up with any plan he could. First it was hostages. I think he was also maybe trying to start a scene there with a fight here as well. I love that Boot Hill's whole idea is like, I'll do plan Z if I have to. Like before I ever return to like the base, I will do plan like Z.
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit intoxicated, esteemed guests. You ordered a bottle of As Donna's White Oak just a moment
Come
ago.
on, Boot Hill.
Looks like your memo keeper friend has finally arrived.
There we go.
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. Too many modifications and all.
Great close-up.
Anyway, let me check. Well, fork me.
Fork me.
It says Donna's White Oak, all right. And there's a note. I'll be waiting for you on the Astral Express.
So in a roundabout way, Don Hung was right.
No mistake. That's her message to you. She knew the hotel wasn't safe, so she suggested we find another place.
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back to the Astral Express. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Oh my god, I love his voice. Let's go. I love it. You know what's great about this as well is that... Oh, this pop-up.
You're back? 2 guests just boarded saying
Two?
they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor.
2
car.
guests. Can I say so? I love that because like those are the type of like work missions that aren't terrible. You know the way you have to like go find someone or you have to go get something and then it takes too long, but like you're given like you have time to like go, oh, let's just get like some food or something for a bit and we'll wait for a bit, or you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, like it was a bit of like quote unquote waste of time, but at the same time too, it also like it did give them some information, so it wasn't a waste of time. Like they realized like that Don Hong realized that it was definitely like suspicious that there was like not many people around from the family. They realized that the invitations might not have been sent by the family. There's like a lot of things they realized, but I do love it's like, yeah, but we got to at least have like a drink together, you know what I mean? That's a bit fun as well. Look at these character designs. Peak.
Oh, just in
Who's the 2,
time.
by the way?
2
Yeah.
guests.
She's
Oh.
one of them. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express, but sneaking in like that? You have no regard for anything.
I love the pom-pom will challenge anybody.
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden.
Oh, with the mirror.
Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust.
So sick. And that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense that the quote-unquote neutral party that will choose the path in the end.
You are the memo keeper.
It's Black Swan.
Pleased to meet you, Don Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting. I hope you enjoyed that bottle of Astana's White Oak. You sure have a refined
Voice
taste.
acting's so good in Honkai Star Rail, isn't it? And that's why the conversations are so good too, is because they're just so good at portraying the personalities and emotions that each character has.
Finally, Memo Keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase. Spill everything you know.
Aggressively.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself.
Sure.
My name is Black Swan,
What?
and I serve the Garden of Recollection as a memo keeper. As for
Wait. I
Acheron's
no. Unmistakably so. You cannot not notice those flames on the tails of that outfit.
I'm sure she knows it better than I.
Holy hell! What did you pull? What did you pull, Black Swan?
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
Amazing.
What? You Garden of Recollection.
Shirtbag.
You
No,
betrayed me.
believe it or not, right? I guarantee you this is gonna benefit everyone. I guarantee you this is gonna be beneficial.
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled.
By Wood,
the
right?
family. Thankfully, this memo keeper came to my aid and helped me escape their surveillance.
Oh
on
my
campus.
god, they have that connection, the dance partners. What? That's I love the twists and turns in it as well. Because when I said two guests, I was like, who could they mean? I was trying to think of who would is another Garden of Recollection member or something like that. And then you see the tails of the outfit, and you're like, okay, it is 100% Acheron. Such a great idea. Such a great story beat to have just Acheron just show up like this as well. Because that seems to be Acheron's thing, by the way. Characters be like, I wonder what Acheron is doing, And then all of a sudden Acheron's like, what if I'm here right now at this second?
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from unnoticed. But we did escape.
From that day that she danced with Acheron and so on, I feel like she's been obsessed. I feel like she's in I need to find out about this gal.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals. Namely, all of
So
you.
awesome. Yeah, they are trustworthy. This is so awesome.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice
Stop.
lady. You think I'm dumb or something?
Oh my god, he the aggressive Tony out here. But son of nice lady is obviously son of a B word, right?
How about this?
Whoa!
I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets
Oh, the
spill.
eyes.
Then we can talk about trust.
Now, this is serious for him as well, because obviously the Galaxy Rangers take the creed and the bottom line of the Galaxy Rangers so serious. So obviously if he hears of a character that's doing some crazy stuff around the place, he's probably gonna be a lot more aggressive as well when it comes to this stuff. But believe me, I know Acheron being here is gonna be so beneficial for you and everyone here. I know.
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other.
I also feel bad for. Look at his pose, by the way. Look at this guy. How do I get rid of the text? Square. Hey. I never done that before. But what's so funny about this is the second time he's pointed his gun at someone, and it's the second time someone has spoken to him calmly with a gun in the face. I feel so bad for Boot Hill. The first time that Dan Hong just walked away for a second, I feel so bad for him.
No other options. What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety.
And I believe her. You have to believe her.
I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astonis
Whoa, to leave right now? Even Dan Hong is shook.
This passenger is requesting.
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat.
Yeah.
And seems to be telling
If
the
I could
truth.
vouch true, Calvin, also known as Romer, to say, legitimately, she is, every time we met her, we have gotten more information. You know what I mean? We have, gotten further to, uncovering stuff over and over again.
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know
Yes.
about Donhung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe.
100%, yes. And she's been completely honest about this.
As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed. I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other. So this was the only way I could reach out to you.
I believe it 110%, right? And I know like people like, you know, we're backing up Acheron a lot here, but I think you guys understand, like, it's about experience. We've been Acheron for a while and we've known Acheron for a bit now and seen like some of the stuff she's done. Like, again, that makes perfect sense, right? The Galaxy Rangers don't have like an organization building. You know what I mean? You can't just like call the secretary and be like, can I get a hold of Boot Hill? You know what I mean? Like, he even said himself that, like, you know, the only thing they have to adhere to is the bottom line. Everything else, you can just do your own thing. So yeah, like, I totally believe that this is a way you like contact a Galaxy Ranger. So she used it.
Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise.
Do you think then for sure that she called herself a Galaxy Ranger in order to like anger a Galaxy Ranger and get them to come here? That makes perfect sense.
To return his relics to their rightful
Whoa.
owner. Someone once told me that every rainfall is like a gift from the heavens, a sign of their mercy upon
This sounds like the freaking Avgens, man.
Raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. Their constant pouring is a reminder that the gods haven't abandoned us yet.
Man, the belief that people have, right?
So, how long has this rain been going on?
Oh my god, this image, are you kidding me? With the hands coming out of the ground as well, towards the black hole area as well. What a dark image.
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually stop. Years and decades passed. And in the end, such hope faded away before the rain did.
So he's not saying that the rain lasted decades, right? Or no, he's saying hope that the rain would even stop is gone.
Looks like the god you mentioned doesn't exist after all.
As he spoke, the old man's gaze remained fixed on the distance, amidst the fine drizzle of black rain. Countless shadowy hands emerged from the sea, shrouded in an ethereal mist. They're reaching out towards the sky one by one. Do you think this is the idea of Nihility?
Well, let me share a story.
Please.
Mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, leaving behind a trail that creates countless ripples of possibilities. These ripples last longer than the fleeting lifetimes of humans.
So mortals who walk paths are like sailors in a vast ocean. Okay. And they leave behind like kind of like a mark that they put on the world. And that creates different paths for other people to walk as well. I guess like the idea of like if you like, you know, bad analogy, leave a shop door open at night, someone could go in and, you know, the possibility opens up with someone going in and taking stuff from it. These ripples last longer than the fleeting lifetimes of humans. So even like beyond, you know, something you can do can even last forever.
And for some, their presence leaves such a strong mark that it's reflected in the world.
Wow. So the idea that like, I guess like that someone could do so much that it's like it's implanted onto like a part of the world.
Like those shadows.
Look at the hands, man.
Synthirsters. The obsessions of the Pathstriders. They emerge from the depths of IX.
There it is.
Seeing themselves as masters of their own destiny.
Wait.
Unknowingly repeated the actions of their past lives.
The obsession of the Pathstriders. Sorry guys, early in the morning. They emerge from the depths of IX, seeing themselves as masters of their own destiny. They emerged from the depths of IX, seeing themselves as masters of their own destiny and only bring them. So this is the imprint that people left on the waves, like the Pathstriders. It's their obsessions, and they repeat over and over and over again. But the hands themselves that are reaching out, you know, for that path, believe that like they're just not. They believe that they think that they're able to control their destiny. But in reality, it's just repeating the same thing they did over and over again.
They emerge from the Nihility and head toward it, leading purposeless lives.
Confronting Nihility, heading towards the Nihility.
However, they were once my dear companions. A group of galaxy
So the guy that she's talking to is a Galaxy Ranger then.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. I'm guiding them toward transcendence.
So obviously he wants them to escape this path striding, right? This obsession.
It was a brutal
war.
A crusade that shook the universe. The universe witnessed the fall of Zulo, the Lord Ravager.
Lord Ravager.
But it came at a price. A price so hefty that only those who were there still remember.
Jeez, did the price have something to do with memory? So this is another name of, by the way, Lord Ravager, Zulo. So we have Fantilia and now we have Zulo. But it sounds like it was a war with the Galaxy Rangers, or the Galaxy Rangers fought them, and like it seems like a lot of people lost their lives during that battle. I wonder what the price was.
The unwavering determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. So someone must guide these lost souls to their life beyond. They were heroes in their time. And they shouldn't be reduced to mere puppets of the Nihility.
So legitimately, like, what? That's what he sees them as now, or like again, that's what I mean, again, the idea of like, again, they come from Nihility, you move toward Nihility. That means to me like it's like, oh, we're escaping this idea. It's like it's walking in circles. It's going in circles. You know, it's like crawling out of the grave to go into another grave. And he's saying like these people used to be like, heroes, and now seeing them like this is painful.
As for me, I've suffered too many losses on that battlefield to advance any further. And that makes me the most fitting person to carry out this task.
There's something so like strange, like it's sad. There's a poetic nature to it. There's a dark nature to it, but like just this image of the black rain falling on top of a Galaxy Ranger as he watches his fallen comrades in this endless cycle, as he watches over them hoping that they finally get transcendence. They used to be heroes who fought against Zulo? And now they're in this constant loop of thinking they have agency, when in reality they're just repeating the imprints that they left on life over and over again. Like this is like imagine like fighting alongside people and having to witness this of your fallen comrades. And here he's saying like, oh, I've suffered too many losses. So he's saying like my life is probably maybe stuck in place after all this stuff.
But these Synthirsters, they're not who they
Synthirst is such a crazy name. Such a crazy name.
Does this seem pointless to you?
Interesting question.
So some tasks have to be done, even if they are pointless.
Okay. So she's like you're helping them, but like you're hoping, you have a hope for them, but they're not what they used. They're not the Galaxy Rangers they used to be. And he's like, I'm gonna do it even if it seems pointless. I'm gonna stop there for a second.
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the Nihility. That's what I've been seeking.
Okay, the meaning of Nihility.
I see. After all, this realm is off limits to ordinary souls, right? Thank you, stranger. I wish that you find what you
So
seek.
she's already on the path to find the meaning of Nihility, and here she's saying that I could help out this person as well. You know what I mean? I would want to help you, and I guess like maybe like he is a bit inspiring, or maybe like there's a tiny bit of sadness and pity there too.
Before we part ways, I have one more question. It is true that their actions and even their entire lives may seem pointless from our perspective. But if, and it's just an if this is what the departed ones expected, should we try to change it?
Another interesting question is if this is what the departed ones expected. So if they knew that this was going to happen after their death, who are we to change it, I guess?
A good question. And a profound one. I don't know.
Could you relate that also to the idea of penacony? And the idea that like, oh, well, people expected to be lulled into this thing, but and like, you know, it's like, should we be the ones to be able to like take them out of that? Should we be the ones allowed to take them out of that lull, you know?
What I do know is that one day I too will pass away. I hope that when that day comes, someone will stand at my grave and place a bouquet of flowers.
And it's such a simple ask, isn't it? It's like to be remembered. It's to be cared about after you're gone. And he's saying like, yeah, like, you know, that question of like, hey, you know, they're not the same people used to be. And I wonder if that relates to where it's like, yeah, like it might be pointless to like, you know, try and help these guys. But I hope one day when I pass on, someone remembers me. So I'm remembering them as well. What? We're playing as Robin now? 9 system hours of the charity festival. I mean, I have no problem playing as Robin. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
When I appeared as a child, my speech, mindset, and soul reflected immaturity and innocence. As I grew into adulthood, I left behind my childlike side.
Oh man. Where are we?
I humbly request your blessings, esteemed advocate of sheep.
Wait, is this like a confession booth? First of all, look at this piece of art. Absolutely stunning. Like the artwork in this game is always like so incredible. Wait, so it looks like a confession booth, right? I request your blessings, or maybe like it's a blessings booth where like, since we know that Robin and Sunday are like the closest to, or like have the closest connection to Sheepay, I wonder if like that's what it is. We'll see anyway, right? We'll definitely see anyway. But it's an interesting look. It's very like, to me, like very religious, right? Very like even the light shining through the window. I honestly, like when I originally saw Sunday for the first time, I made a joke calling him Honkai Jesus. And that was because he had like this kind of like very like, I don't know, like prophet style poses and stuff. I guess, you know, like he kind of had this like grand outfit and even like had like the crown on his head. You know, it was very like an interesting like thing that I was just making a joke about it, honestly. But now looking back, it's kind of like, in a way, I don't think he's Honkai Jesus, but you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, the religious comparisons are there, you know what I mean, for the harmony. I think they are. I think there's no way of denying it. And I think even now with the organ in the background, the piano in the background, and the music, it feels like a sermon. You know what I mean? I feel like it's definitely trying to show the idea of this, like, you know, again, and like, I feel like, you know, if you're talking about like organized religion in a lot of ways too, with the harmony, where it's like, you know, people, you know, taking the original teachings of like that, you know, some, not all, I want to make it clear, some of those teachings are not good, but like the basis of like, you know, like some teachings, like, oh, you should follow these teachings, you should follow these teachings. A lot of people, like in religion, don't follow the teachings originally. They kind of contort them to mean what they want them to mean, because then it's easier to be hateful sometimes. That's how it happens. It does happen all the time, where they like take like certain aspects and ignore other aspects. You know, take the ones that benefit them the most and use them like to their advantage. And I feel like in this way too, like, you know, the reason why the harmony has been so like is corrupting is because they've used like the teachings, not the teachings of the harmony, but like the powers of the harmony and the efforts of the harmony in the way that they don't see the way that they originally would want you to use them. But at the same time, too, I do also think the Harmony has a presence that isn't like, it's not like, oh, the Harmony's perfect. Obviously, the Harmony has like some like, you know, like every Aeon, it's like, oh, like, you know, they're so powerful, but they're all going to be like terrifyingly like wrong in a lot of ways too, you know. Like, I'm not like a Aeon supporter. In fact, like, you know, you guys know I'm a Stellar Hunter for life. But yeah, it's just the way I see it. I do think there are a lot of comparisons to the Harmony and like organized religion in real life, and I think that, you know, to say, you know, if anyone says like, oh, I don't really see that, that's fine. But I also think that, like, you know, the Xian show is also like a perfect depiction of like how different groups and factions and religions grow to dislike each other and hate each other, and you know, it causes a lot of like unrest and violence, and even like in a lot of cases discrimination against people for not following, you know, their ideas to a T. And I think, you know, they showcase that idea so well in Xian's show of the idea of like, you know, factions and politics and religion and all this stuff, that it I don't really think that like they'll do one region, one planet as like so good at like relating to the idea of real life stuff, and then not have like something that is also imitating life in some ways too in another region, you know, especially since like Balebog focused so much on like political strife and the wrongdoings of a nation against its people. You know, it again relates a lot to stuff in real life. You know, I don't think that they just do it by accident is the way I look at it.
Come to me, my kinship. I have sought their presence with us.
You see, it's very, you know what I mean? Like, you can't deny the very religious connotations 100%. Nobody can. It's right there in front of our face.
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the Harmony to the best of my ability. However, I made a mistake yesterday.
Oh, Jesus.
While I was preparing dinner for the family head, I accidentally dropped a prepared dish on the floor.
So what? That better not be a sin. Like, what the hell are you talking about, buddy? Come on.
Out of laziness.
Oh, the lie?
Lied and claimed that everything was ready. Although the head has dismissed me as punishment, it has been tough to sleep with the guilt still gnawing at me, as I worried that the seeds of evilness have taken root in my soul.
Buddy.
So, I confess to you now to seek atonement for my sins.
And this is, again, you cannot tell me that this doesn't happen as well, where like you have people like following like the idea of like a doctrine to a T, to the point that they do something that literally like, okay, he dropped some food on the ground, right? And he said that it was ready, and I guess he served it, right? Am I right in saying that he claimed that everything was ready, which means to me he probably served this dish to fall on the ground, right? Is that disgusting? Yeah, it's pretty awful, right? Like to like not tell people, hey, this dropped on the ground. That's 100% correct, right? It's not very nice to do, right? But to have like, you shouldn't think about this for more than like a few days. Obviously, you should feel bad for like, you know, like, it's normal to feel bad for like doing something that is like kind of like, well, like no, just like, it's not that like, by the way, like it's not that you can't eat food that like falls on the floor for like 2 seconds, right, or whatever, right? I'm not saying that, and obviously depends on the food. But what I'm saying is that like, people have a right to know, hey, this dropped on the floor, are you cool with this? Because then they can make their own decisions about it. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't be like a sin. I know it's the lying aspect. It's like, yeah, okay, you told a white lie. Okay, yeah, it wasn't the most pleasant thing in the world. But dude, don't be thinking about this forever, please.
Do you sincerely repent and vow to change your ways?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Don't lie about the casserole falling ever again, buddy.
Have you examined your soul?
Oh, Jesus.
And confessed all your sins?
Dear Lord in heaven.
Are you willing to accept the process of atonement?
It's so rigid and...
Yes.
Very well. Show your dedication and goodwill to the family, and you shall be reinstated among them.
He was...
Now,
please,
leave in peace.
He was taken out of the family for lying about a dish that fell on the floor. Yeah, it's disgusting, but like it's not like everything leads to something. Maybe the pressure as well that the family puts on people as well led him to think that if he said, hey, this dropped on the floor, they're gonna think he's an idiot and he doesn't want to feel that way. Jesus, dude, come on. And you can tell Sunday's not fully passionate about this right now, but there's something on his mind for sure.
Oh, praise Sheepy. And thank you, esteemed advocate.
I'm gonna say this right now. I know for a fact Shibe does not give a damn that you lied about your dish on the floor. Shibe does not give a damn. Like if an Aeon doesn't give a damn about like when someone like, you know, like right now if someone went into the street right now and killed someone, I'm pretty sure most Aeons would not care, right? They don't give a damn about your dish that you lied about. I'm telling you, buddy. Me on the other side of the booth. Just forget about it. This is a confessional booth. This is a freaking confessional booth.
Next. Please, step forward.
I wholeheartedly confess to you. Please, pardon my sins.
Forgiven.
Rest assured, I have implored their presence to be with us. As long as you are sincere, absolution will be granted.
And you guys know I'm not religious. You guys know I'm not a religious person. 110% you know I'm not religious. I like grew up around religion, so like I know a lot about the idea of religion and like organized religion because I grew up like in Catholic Ireland. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously I know a lot about it. But like, like I remember when I was doing confession as a kid. Like, I remember coming out of it being like, that was so silly that they made a bunch of kids confess. Like, what do kids have to confess? You know what I mean? It's so silly. It's so silly. Like, and like, here's the thing. Like, I'm not insulting people's religions. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not doing that. But like, I also get to have my own opinions on the idea of this, right? I'm not going to shy away from that. Like, no person, even Sunday, should get to decide if your sins are absolved.
Oh, great.
Look at this relief they have.
I arrived in Penacony as a stowaway. I sold everything to get a ticket.
Huh?
My house, my land, and my 2 children.
Not forgiven. What the hell? No, that's disgusting.
I see. Please, go on.
What the? No. Don't go on. Sunday's stronger than me because I literally go out of the boot right now and grab him. Like, he's way stronger than I am.
My children were starving.
Huh?
And I hoped they'd have a chance at survival if they became slaves here.
What?
If I can strike it rich here, I'll lift them out of that situation.
Are you insane?
Give them the life they deserve.
Are you insane? If I can strike it rich here. Buddy, let's be honest what's happening right now. Right, yes, it's horrible. By the way, I'm making it perfectly clear. The children should never have been starving in the first place. The fact that they even started in the first place is a failure of like society. Instantly, 100% is a failure. No child should ever be starving ever. There's no excuses. There's no argument against it. No child should ever be starving. It is a failure of society, 110%. Right? Selling them into slavery. You've taken away their lives and their agency. We saw what that has done to people's mind. We saw what it did to Venturine. Their lives are forfeit now. Unless they have the, like, Venturine to escape all this stuff, eventually he had to freaking, like, go into, like, a dormancy. Jesus Christ, guys. Because what he's done now, and let's be honest, what he has done now has made life easier for himself. But now he's guilty about it. This is why this type of confession is so silly. Oh, I feel guilty about something I did really, really horrible, but at least I can absolve myself of my sins if I feel guilty enough. I'd be out with the boot right now.
But the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail, hunting me down. I thought I could bring my kids here. It was all my fault.
Yes.
All my fault.
Yes. What the hell?
The family is ready to forgive all sinners. I'll ask the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. You don't need to live in fear anymore.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll work my hardest to
Jesus Christ.
and make them part of the family. Praise the harmony.
Oh, buddy, I'm so glad you got your sins redeemed. Oh my God. Now go work hard and get your children out of slavery, buddy. And again, I want to make clear as well, there's nothing Sunday can do in this, right? Legitimately, there's nothing, like, no, there is, right? Sunday can have a choice, but I know Sunday's situation. I know how trapped they are in the idea of, like, the harmony, the position the family put them in. They were trapped. I know for a fact they were trapped. I want to make that perfectly clear. Like, they weren't even allowed to investigate openly the death of their sister, the quote-unquote death of their sister. Imagine having to sit there and listen to a guy say, "Oh, please, I stole my children to slavery. Please, sir." And then go, "Oh, I'll work my hardest to make sure my children aren't slaves anymore." Do you know how much money he's going to have at that point? How long his children are going to be slaves? Exactly. That's... Oh my God.
Next, please step
This is a masterful scene, by the way. I want to make that clear. This is a masterful scene. It's making my blood boil as well because this is such a terrifying situation. But it is a massively done scene. Not only like the music in the background, of which, like, again, I think church music can have a very calming feel to it, but in the right situation, it can have a very like dominating and kind of like terrifying feel to it, right? Hearing that kind of music in the background with the light shining through the booth, the wood of like, even like the wood background here and the grates like bring back like a memory, you know what I mean? It's like almost instantaneous, just like, oh my God. Like, I 100%, but I think that's why it's masterfully done. There's a dominating and suffocating presence to this scene that not only I can feel, which like, you know, the idea of the sheep around the whole thing and the idea of like religion, the whole thing like as well. There's also a thing with Sunday where I feel like there is like, once again, like this booth that he is in is a metaphor for the idea of like his position once again too. Like you talk about the idea of like a cage, right? A cage. This booth is like to me a representation of that cage once again, because whilst again he has like, he's done, I want to make it clear, he's done, we don't agree with anything he did to Aventurine, even though we also acknowledge he did it under like a stress of what was happening to his sister. I do think 100% he is another character who is a victim of penacony. I do think so. At least that's the vibe I get from the way that the family treats him, from the way that you know, the way that he is told he wasn't allowed to investigate the death of his sister, all the letters we found to him as well. While he is like the head of the family, I feel like he's like very much like a puppet. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the vibe I get from Sunday. I do think that like between the stuff we've seen before, like I get the energy off Sunday that he is like feeling cornered sometimes. And that's probably why he did that. And again, we said it before, he did that with Aventurine because he wasn't allowed to investigate his own sisters. That I think the family controls, you know, a lot more than Sunday does.
Hey, long time no see.
To me anyway,
Mr.
I could be wrong.
Sunday, the most esteemed individual in Penacony, and the next leader of the Oak family.
So this is way before when he wasn't even the leader at this point?
I have sought their presence with us. Let us
Interesting.
proceed.
That's good to know as well.
Sure, let's just get this over with. I have sinned, please forgive me. I wasted half a pizza at breakfast, and a bottle of soda.
So you can get, it's a sin to waste food as well? Like...
That's it. Nothing more. When we wrap this up, I've got a robo-ball game to catch, you know?
Do you seek to atone for your sins through good deeds?
My sins? Started to sound like a saint, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Neither the family nor you have the right to judge me.
True. I agree.
You think nobody knows what your precious family has done?
Whoa.
About the watchmaker? Huh? Don't kid yourself, Featherbrain. Those dream chasers might be fooled by your act, but don't fool yourself.
So this is the stuff with the Stellaron, right? I guess, well, like, this is, we know what they did, the stuff with the Stellaron, the family did. But I guess more people knew about this, or at least had an inkling about this, or maybe there was rumors about this than we knew even.
Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Where does the power of the Oak family come from?
Stellaron?
And your power. What makes you think you can sit there all
Wow.
high and mighty, looking down on everyone else?
Honestly, like, you know, I feel like this is like a pushback, a real, you could say a fair pushback.
Well, I've spent enough time in confession today to enter the Harmony's paradise, right? Then I'll take my leave. Good luck with your election, and, don't make me regret my investments in you.
Monetary investment, so there was a monetary investment into Sunday winning the election as well, to become the head of the family. You can, I just want to talk about, there's this feeling of like, oh God, I have to do this. This is my life. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's a masterfully done scene. And just like with the bird,
triple-faced soul, hear my doubt.
Just like with the bird, it's a still frame that we've literally been looking at for like nearly 20 minutes. And just like with the bird, it is one of the most, like, what Honkai is able to do with just dialogue and one still frame of art is something that a lot of games can't do with a full 50-minute long, story sequence. You know what I mean? Like, they're able to do so much in such a short amount of time with such amazing dialogue. What, again, like, as I said, obviously this was before he became I think when he became head of the Oak family, he became even more trapped. That's my feeling. And again, I want to make clear that, like, this is speculation, right? Because obviously, like, I want to get the energy that he feels like trapped, whether it be this conversation he's had here, whether it's the letters from the family, whether it's the, how he had to get Aventurine to, like, investigate his sister, because he was not investigating his sister. He was told doesn't have, like, that much power in this situation. He's also, like, under the guise of the veil of the penacony. Again, that's just the energy I get from a lot of the characters here in this game, is that a feeling of feeling trapped in a cage. We talk about the bird allegory all the time as well, the bird symbolism, that relates to almost everybody. You could relate it to, like, Robin. You could relate it to Acheron. You could relate it to Sparkle. You could relate it to, like, anyone on Penacony. So I don't see why Sunday would be any different with his ideals either. And I think it's, like, 100% a, like, masterfully done idea. If you're going to portray someone that does feel like they are, like, maybe also trapped in that veil, just like everyone else is trapped in that veil of Penacony, then I think the best way to portray it is to show them inside of a freaking box. A confessional box that represents their faith and represents who they were going to become. And not only that, but having someone be like, I paid for this, and having to listen to Sunday having to listen to someone say, I sold my children to slavery, and have to be like, do you repent? I couldn't do that at all.
Who can judge the strong when their power hides their crimes?
Yeah. That's such a... Yes. If the quote-unquote strong are the ones who judge the quote-unquote weaker, then who judges you guys?
Who can vouch for the weak when they will pay any price to survive?
Yes, they look at what they've done, what they will do to be good in the eyes of Shipe.
Who can comfort the purest souls when even they get led astray?
The sadness in his voice here as well. Even the nicest of people that walk down the wrong path.
If the strong defending the weak is truly the foundation of paradise, then who is responsible for the suffering and anguish in this wretched world?
Jesus, Sunday.
Brother?
Man, what a scene.
Brother?
What a freaking scene.
Brother, are you alright?
Are we back in... No, this is not. Is it Penacony? Is it the main...
I'm fine. I've been working long hours.
They are back.
And I just made a trip to Dreamflux Reef and back. So, I'm a bit out of
No,
sorts.
tell Robin, though.
But it'll all be over before we know it.
Please tell Robin of your strife.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this incident. Even if the Stellaron does pose a grave threat, I still feel sorry for all the trouble we've caused.
Oh my god, Welt being so diplomatic as well. I just wish you could tell Robin, because I feel like he cares so much about Robin, and in his own way, he doesn't want Robin to worry about him. We've gotten that impression from the notes that they had earlier that they had very little contact, and I feel like maybe a part of, like, and again, this is speculation, but maybe part of the reason why he didn't want Robin knowing about, like he didn't have a lot of contact with Robin during his work time is because probably, like, the conversations that they might have had, but it would have been like, yeah, I absolved that frickin' dude who sold his children to slavery today of his sins. You know what I mean? How do you have a conversation about that? You know, some people come home and go like, yeah, today at work we unloaded like 10 boxes into this truck and it was actually very hard and it hurt my back and stuff like this as well. But his job is not a fun thing to talk about. It's not fun. There's nothing fun about that his job. You know? And it's clear he was like pegged to be the head of the family, and he was clearly also there was investments from rich people for him to be the head of the family. If you're talking about path striders and the idea of being on the one path, it feels like almost like Sunday and Robin's path from a very young age was very predetermined where they wanted to go from the Dream Master at the very least. I feel like he had this idea that you were going to be like, you know, Honkai Jesus very early on. Sorry for getting so passionate about this because like I'm already kind of like feeling a bit emotional about Sunday. And again, I know, like, again, I keep saying it because, like, again, I want to make it clear between the difference between me and analyzing stuff and stuff. But I'm only, like, picking up on hints and clues and ideas and symbolism. But, like, that's what I get from it.
No need to worry about troubling anyone. The Charmony Festival was meant to spread joy and harmony across the cosmos. But now that we know the truth, I'm afraid we'll have to cancel it.
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so we'll do our best to explain everything to the Dream Master. I'm sure he'll understand.
Robin.
Even if the negotiation does not go smoothly, I'll refuse to go on stage. Without the Chord Master, the Harmonious Choir would not arrive, and the Charmony Festival would be just a grand performance. And nothing more.
So, if the person who is, so she's the Chord Master. So I wonder if the Chord Master is a name given to people, the one who's blessed with the voice from the harmony, and then the embodiment of the harmony is the Harmonious Choir. So as that is like that's like the harmony itself showing up, the embodiment of harmony. So the embodiment of harmony won't show up if she's not there.
I'm relieved to see your determination.
Heck yeah. Yeah, honestly. This is amazing, by the way. Like, I'm still not over that confession booth scene. Such a tense, but like almost perfect scene. You know what I mean?
You know, since arriving in Penacony, we haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself. I'd heard of the heads of the 5 major lineages, but the Dream Master is a mystery to
He's
me.
one of the few Penacony characters that I can say genuinely like is a meanie.
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us. But, given the urgency of the situation, he's agreed to meet us in person.
I'm so glad Welt's not stupid about this, and Welt has said if he needs to cause some violence, he will. You know?
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet the Dream Master in years, Mr. Yang.
This is just two brothers and sisters. This is a brother and sister. And maybe it's just because Welt is such a dad figure that, like, I don't know, I'm feeling a bit emotional, maybe weirdly so. Sorry for getting, like, weird about it, but, like, they paint such an image of these two, of Sunday and Robin, and you look at them here now with their soft eyes. At least you see Sunday's soft eyes looking up at Welt and, like, talking about, like, what's going to happen here in a few months, and, like, you realize that, like, yeah, she's on a poster. Yes, he's like, you know, Penacony Jesus, basically. But, like, they're people, you know? They're two kids who grew up with responsibilities that they never knew that they would have, you know? And you look at them now and they're just like, it makes me sad just looking at them, just because I'm like, man, they deserve to spread their wings. They do, in the way that they want to, you know?
Let's hope we can reach a consensus that satisfies everyone.
Yeah.
Indeed. Let us hope so.
I'm not expecting it, though.
It's about time. We'll have to get ready for the meeting. I apologize for any inconvenience caused by the urgency.
That's understandable.
Don't worry. I'll be waiting here.
What do we have to do? Assist the guest? Oh my god, so they have to help out a few people too.
Someone needs help. Let's go check it out.
Different energy now playing as Robin ever since we, you know, we know it's not Sparkle this time. So also interesting to be back here in this place this beautiful, gorgeous world, knowing now that like the underbelly of this is quite tainted.
Thank you for everything you've done. I'll be waiting
Thank
here.
you. Is there anyone we can fight right now so I can hear the song? That's my first thought. I'm trying to think, is there anyone we can fight here? I don't think there's any combat, right? We could do Hanu and then do it there. If we did Hanu, we could fight someone. But I wonder what, you know what that might do? That might just turn us into Stell. You know what? You know what? You know what we'll do? You know what we'll do? You know what we'll do? I think it's the best way to go about it. Right? We'll use it as a motivator to save up some gems for the next time Robin's on the banner. Because the next time I'll hear the song will either be in a battle randomly in this game, or maybe it'll be when I am able to obtain her. How about that? We'll use it as a motivator, even though I want to hear it right now. We'll use it as a motivator. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Let the show begin.
Da, 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 da. Such a good tune.
Mr. Sunday. Hey there! Okay, see the moon in the sky? It's about the size of the cap on my Soul Glad bottle.
Okay.
If I just reached out my hand, I could grab the moon, couldn't I?
Very true.
The moon? You mean the Grand Theater?
Yeah. Look at me. I've been away from home for too long.
Okay.
I must be missing that moon. But it's no big deal. The Grand Theater here looks much better than the moon back home. It's just magnificent.
I don't know, I think even in real life there's not many things that beat the visual of the moon.
They told me not to sell everything I had just to come to penacony. How short-sighted.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's a very common theme here of people uprooting their whole lives to come here.
Selling everything you had. Why would you go to such lengths?
Dastardly. Like, not dastardly, sorry. Silly. You know what I mean? It's, that allure of penacony is strong, it seems.
Why? Can't you see? Life back home is miserable.
There it is.
It's not really living at all.
The allure is legitimately so strong of penacony because they see normal life as bad.
It's better to be here at penacony. No pain, no worries about tomorrow, just sweet dreams. You can do whatever you want. That's what I call living. Yeah, now this is the life.
You might want to worry about tomorrow, I'll be honest.
Is this truly living?
Huh? What did you say, young lady? I didn't quite catch that.
Is this truly living? Is living a lie truly living?
Oh, it's nothing, sir. You see, the traffic on Glock's Avenue can be dangerous. How about I ask a Bloodhound family member to escort you to Ideen Park over there, so you can continue enjoying your sweet dream?
Robin has been able to turn off the switch, right? Of I am a representative penacony. Sunday, not so much yet, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Wow, no wonder you were the leader of this sweet dream. You're totally a lifesaver. See you around, Mr. Sunday, and it was nice chatting with you.
Yeah, he offered a solution there that was pretty diplomatic.
What's up, sister?
This is the land of the dreams. But why do they live like this? The man we ran into, he doesn't seem happy at all.
Even since he came here, he's drinking heavily, right? He's, and if you're drinking that heavily, like even when you come to like these, to me anyway.
Even though sweet dreams are nice, they're just illusions. But for him, they're the only way to survive,
right.
Even if it means giving up on reality. That's not really living at all.
I suppose you have a point. But, in my opinion, that's how most people live their lives.
Why do you say that?
You think that man is not actually living, but that's not quite accurate. Even without penacony, people create their own illusions called self-value.
Okay.
People believe they have a predetermined value to fulfill. Gaining value means gaining power, and those deemed worthless are seen as the weak.
It's such a horrible way to look at life, though, right? Isn't it? The idea of like your value being based on like your power, and looking at other people that don't have power as being weak.
However, value doesn't come out of thin air, and there's a limit to it. To accumulate value, people have to take from others. So the weak get exploited and oppressed.
Yep. And they talk. This is what's happening in Penacony. Legitimately, what's happening in Penacony.
Are you suggesting that this is not how things should
I hope
be?
so. I hope that's what he's suggesting.
Exactly. But, ironically, people don't think there's anything wrong with it, because they uphold the illusory notion of self-value, and even the weak believe in it.
Because earlier on Sunday was talking about the idea of like, who's gonna, protect the weak, who's gonna, the weak are suffering, and who judges the strong. So obviously he does have like a lot of notions about this in his mind.
The survival of the fittest. That's where all the tragedies in the world come from. People come to the sweet dream in Penacony to escape from that reality and find solace.
And we know that like is just a sham as well, because the quote-unquote strong are exploiting the quote-unquote weak again.
No tragedies exist here, only happiness, although in its nascent form. Isn't that the same paradise we yearn for in our dreams?
We know that this place is a sham. We know that this place is not what it is. It's not what it proposes to be.
Perhaps that man is just an exception. Let's not jump to conclusions. We should experience the dreamscape ourselves, just as I did at Dreamflux Reef.
Yes, seeing is believing. I'll accompany you. The Dream Master hasn't shown up yet, so we have some time for a stroll.
Yeah, I love that we're like literally going around, strolling around the place with Robin and Sunday. But yeah, it's interesting because like I said, I do think what I said is actually true. I do think that like Robin has kind of turned off the switch a little bit of like, I'm a representative of Penacony. I'm so important to Penacony. Penacony is so important. I think Sunday's gonna have a harder time shutting off the switch. And what he said about self-proposed value, I do think there is like a thing in life where and what Sunday said is like completely true when it comes to the real world as well, is where people like, believe like, oh, I have a right to take this. If I don't take this, then like I won't be able to fulfill this wish or fulfill this dream. And people then think because it was easy to take something, that means they were supposed to take it. And they'll also come up with the ideas in all their heads of like why they were allowed to take this. You know what I mean? Either like, this is something that like, my God asked me to do, or this is something that, like if I didn't do this, then they would do this. Oh, these people act like this. That's why I took this off them. And also like the idea of like when people like exploit the weak in their heads, they do try to like propose an idea in their head where they go like, well, like the reason they got exploited was because they are easily exploitable. I'm just if I didn't do it, someone else would. You know what I mean? People have imposed those ideas of like to protect their own minds a lot on their own heads, I feel like. And also like in the idea of self-proposed value, it's like, oh, how do I get through day to day? Well, just like anyone else, I'm getting through the day piece by piece. But again, it's one of those things like, feeling like, what you're doing is like super important, and feeling that it leads to something important. It's something that a lot of people do to get through the day. Everyone has to be drunk on something, I feel, sometimes. Even though like I don't really necessarily agree that Penacony is the place that is an escape that they think it is.
Glad to meet you again, Robin. How are the preparations for the Charmony Festival coming along? We're all so excited about it.
It's going smoothly. Thanks for making the trip to join the festival.
You're too kind, Robin. It's a pleasure to have guests from all over the universe celebrating day and night.
True.
I can't stand being lonely or bored, so
This jubilant dreamscape is perfect for me.
Again, it's like it feels like we said it before. It's like a band-aid. You know what I mean? It's like a band-aid.
But if this went on forever, would it get boring too?
Yeah, would the perfect life get boring more often than not?
Nah, not at all. Who would get tired of having so much fun?
Oh my god. No, like I understand what Robin's saying, where it's like ice cream's amazing, but if I had ice cream for breakfast, dinner, and like tea, you know what I mean, and for like brunch, you know what I mean, and for a snack every single day, yeah, for the first week I'm like, man, this stuff is incredible. I love ice cream. But after a while you're gonna be like, man, sometimes I like some meat and potatoes. You know, so you know what I mean? Sometimes that you know, meal that you deem to be kind of boring, you know, sometimes not bad to have.
Every day you get to wear fancy clothes, explore all sorts
They're
of
no longer
dream
fancy, by the way.
bubbles, indulge in delicious food without gaining weight, and you never get old or sick. As long as you can afford a room, this place is the ultimate paradise.
I think that if you wear a fancy dress every day and everyone wears a fancy dress every day and fancy outfits every day, then they're no longer fancy.
But you know that only a few things can be brought back from the dreamscape to reality, right?
That's exactly why I don't plan on bringing anything back. Just enjoying the dream itself is good enough for me. I mean, I'm not one of those long-living species. I only have around 60 or 70 years in this lifetime, and there's so much to worry about. Being happy here is pure bliss.
Yeah. I think this guest is a perfect example of somebody who is over the moon to be here and wouldn't even be able to see flaws even if you pointed them out either.
Only in this sweet dream can I truly feel like I'm in control of my life and fate. Who would want to go back to reality after experiencing this bliss?
It's rough because talking to somebody who like is talking about how like their life seems happier now, I don't know. It's like it's very difficult to be like to talk them down off this, you know?
I see. I genuinely wish you all the happiness in the world.
And I wish you a fantastic performance, Robin! I'm off to the Blue Hour for the ball. See you later.
Yeah, that's rough because again, it's like I'm not gonna argue with someone who feels this way, you know, but it's like, yeah.
Seems like that guest's perspective didn't resonate with you either.
Yeah.
She had a valid point. And I could sense her genuine
Same.
happiness.
She was over the moon.
It's just that
She was so happy.
What you're trying to say is, she thinks she's in control of her life. But in reality, she's just escaping from reality and seeking solace in this sweet dream. Once she steps out of this sanctuary, everything will be lost.
Yeah, and even in Penacony, like there is a control aspect from the family. The family has like a control on these characters too. Like, you know, it is like as Gallagher was saying, like it's like a cage that people are being exploited in to keep this place going. You know, it's yeah.
Well, she did make mention of being able to afford a room, didn't she?
However, the paradise in our dreams, it doesn't have to end.
What do you mean?
No. And the paradise we yearn for shouldn't be just a fleeting dream
I agree.
either.
I agree. People should be able to live a comfortable life. A comfortable, happy life. Yeah, like she kind of bummed me out a bit because it's like, yeah, you could sense how happy she was, and I think what bums me out is just like, yeah, like what they're saying, you know, you learn to what was the lady said? Like you learn to live in here, but you learn to survive on the outside.
dreamscape is truly breathtaking.
He turns around, Robin, oh my god!
Oh, Robin.
Oh.
Can't believe I'm meeting you in person here. What an honor.
Pleasure's all yours.
You're right. Even though time stands still in this dreamscape, it always feels fresh. I find something new every time.
A philosophical mind. I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh,
Robin's so
not at
pleasant.
all. With little time left, I yearn for meaningful conversations, especially with someone as esteemed as you. Do you mind if we chat?
Oh, that's sweet of him, right? To be like, oh yeah, do you mind?
It's my pleasure. No need to be formal. Just speak your mind. You said, with little time left. Please, forgive me for being blunt. But is that why you came to Penacony?
Yeah. I was part of a war, and while escaping from the Sarkosian mothership, I got exposed to some radioactive materials.
Right. So this is probably like, yeah, obviously leading towards his death.
And then, all
Jesus.
my comrades died, and my hometown was wiped out by neutron bombardments. I couldn't bear to live with everything I knew gone. That's when I heard about a possible solution here, so I
To escape all that, he came here.
How heart-wrenching. I hope the family has been able to help you.
They have, and I'm truly grateful for that. They provided me with a comfortable room,
Whoa.
most advanced life support devices in the cosmos, and a stellar team of caregivers.
They gave a lot here.
My physical body is now in the dream pool, sustained
What?
by life support. The me you see here is whole, rational, and no different from any other person. But I can't say the same for the me in the hotel.
It's kind of it's so crazy to think about, like, you know, how like right now, if we went to him right now, he would I don't know. I don't want to say, because again, you know, I never want to like anyone who's on life support or something as well. It's like, you know, it obviously is a shocking thing to see, right? It is, and you see how like you know, open he is to talk about this as well. I know it's like, I think they're trying to showcase like how a lot of people feel about like their escapism here in Penacony.
My true appearance. I hope you never have to witness it.
Yeah, people on life support's not an easy thing to see. It's really not an easy thing to see in most cases.
So, you'll be living forever in this dreamscape, right?
Just being able to live at all is good enough for me. Whether it's in this dreamscape or not, well, I don't really have much say.
And this situation is like, and I think it's a good opposing view, right? Is that, you know, I'm like a person who 100% believes in the idea of like, you know, hey, you shouldn't live, like living a lie is not a way to live, you know what I mean? And living in like a perfect fantasy is not a way to live, right? It's not. I truly believe this. But like, if you're someone who's like about to die, you're on life support, you've lost all your family and your friends and your comrades, you're in this horrible war, and your village was taken out by a bombardment. At that point, like if someone came to you and said, hey, would you want to just live forever in a place with, you know, that you're not going to have any, like perceived to not have any war or any death, and you can be happy for the rest of your lives and you'll never die and you'll live here forever, and be able to you know, wake up every morning and go get a soul glad. Like, I think everyone's perception would be a little bit different, right? Everyone would kind of be like, oh, sure, you know, that sounds reasonable, you know.
My world has been torn apart, and my life could end any second. So, even if this whole place is an illusion, it's still my paradise. And I'll treasure every moment.
Obviously, like when he's not going to live here forever, right? Because obviously the thing with the life support system is, it doesn't like if they're just non-responsive altogether, there's nothing it can do, right?
Now I envy those everlasting things.
The long life species, or... Man, again, it's like, it's...
That old man's story.
Yeah.
It's so tragic. Fortunately, this sweet dream gives him joyful memories to hold on to. For the rest
I
of
think
his
it's
life.
very important, and not that we agree with the dreamscape, but I think it's very important that they spent hours upon hours harping on how bad the dreamscape can be and how bad it is. I think it's also important to showcase like how other people feel in the dreamscape too, right? Like it's a very complicated answer back to what people would say about the dreamscape, right? So I feel like it's like 100% okay to be like, you know, in terms of like, you know, we're like, oh, like, because I am 100% the idea where it's like this place is corrupted and like it's changed my perception of this place altogether. But I think also it's 100% good for like the game to fight back a little bit and be like, well, hold on, well, listen to what these guys have to say about it as well, you know?
That's precisely why this sweet dream in Penacony exists.
Shaking your faith sometimes isn't a bad thing.
However, even the sweet dream has its limitations. While it provides solace to the disillusioned, it can't completely eliminate pain in reality.
There will be a way out. Penacony is already on the right track.
Do you think so? Okay. That's what I'm saying. I don't think... That's Sparkle. Oh my freaking god, it's Sparkle. I was like, what the... That's Sparkle. So, like, before we go down and talk to freaking Sparkle, yeah, like, I don't think that the game is trying to sway your opinions on, like, hey, should you like Penacony or not, but I do think it's important to note that I feel like what's happening here is that I don't think the switch is off for Robin, but I think the switch has been dimmed for Robin. And I think the light switch is still on in terms of, like, the love, maybe not the love for Penacony, but the understanding of, like, what they see Penacony as for Sunday. And maybe it is, like, I do get the impression when he's talking here of someone who, like, his belief in Penacony is so strong because that's what he's had since, you know, forever. You know what I mean? He was, you know, the head of the Oak family. He's someone who, like, his life has always been about, like, Penacony and the sins that he can absolve and, you know, people coming here to escape their life. And, like, I think 100% it's okay. It's, like, totally, like, good writing to have a character to be like, well, this is why people come here, and did you expect any different? This makes perfect sense, you know, like, I don't get the sense of, like, a character who, like, is trying to sweep things under the rug and in Penacony. I get a sense of a character who has lived here for so long that changing, you know, what they say about Penacony, maybe not how they feel fully inside, but what they say about Penacony isn't going to change overnight, if that makes sense. Because I feel like he's still doing a bit of, like, you know, adhering to this, a bit of propaganda for Penacony. Yeah. But I'm glad that he's not, like, you know, downplaying Robin's feelings in this either. Let's go talk to Robin.
Look what we have here.
Stop!
A lovely young lady.
Sparkle, do not.
Wait, is that...
What's Sunday knows his trick. Sunday knows this trick. Sparkle, what are we doing? You cannot do this. Not in public. Come on now. Sparkle.
Brother! Nice to see you again.
Again, the voice actors are so good in this game. Listen to this.
Brother.
Show yourself. Your trick won't work.
Why does Robin love us? Robin's like, wow, I do look cute. The smile on her face. Wow.
I've heard that a skilled mass fool received an invitation too. That must be you. Right? Did you enjoy yourself?
Robin realized so quickly.
Barely.
Oh my god.
The people here are way too gullible. A
little bit.
bait is all it takes for them to bite. And they run away at the slightest hint of danger. In other words, they're naive and cowardly.
Wow. Again, I love the way they always do the transition back to Firefly because it happens in like a split second. You know, you're just like, oh, there she is. You know what I mean? Not Firefly, sorry, for Sparkle. But like, what Sparkle is saying here, by the way, like, is very mean and very not nice. But like what like it is also like if you translate it to like very common language like and try not to be like very mean about it, because they've been in the dream for so long that any bit of confrontation scares them. You know? That's what it is. Like these people in the dream cannot take the idea of like a lot of them can't take the idea of a real confrontation.
Now that you've had your fill, it'd be wise to leave before it's too late.
Tell her.
The music of the harmony doesn't tolerate discord.
I mean, the harmony doesn't tolerate a law. We've learned they stopped tolerating a law here.
What? Now that you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how disheartening.
Stop.
I've done so much for the family.
Her voice actor's so good. Her voice actor's so good. Listen how she says disheartening.
What? Now that you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how disheartening.
How disheartening. You know what I mean? They're so good.
You should be thanking me. Because if it weren't for me cleaning up this mess, Penacony would still be in shambles. Don't you?
So she kept going around telling people everything was okay?
That was a personal request from the head of the Iris family. And it has nothing to do with us. Step aside and stop causing trouble for the Charmony Festival.
Oh, wait. I was thinking that the Iris family asked her to dress up as Robin, but maybe I'm wrong. I think it's something, I think it's the other thing maybe.
Charmony Festival? You think you can scare me? You think I have no idea what you're planning?
Also, Sparkle realizes.
I don't care what you're thinking, Chicken Wing Boy.
Oh, Chicken Wing Boy.
But I'm pretty sure our lovely Robin won't be appearing on stage.
Sparkle, how'd you figure this out?
All, you're well aware of what a sorry state this dreamscape is in under the banner of harmony.
Oh my god. And yeah, of course we realized before that Sparkle has like an idea of what's going on behind the scenes and she understands this play. She was talking to Venturine about it too. But she's also the one who knew about the mutes. Like her information like system is second to none.
Penacony, the land of the dreams. Is this truly the paradise you desire?
I know it's not intentional, but like the bell in the background almost signifying like a waking up from a dream or like the time ticking away. As she says this, so good.
Stop it.
Oh, Sunday once again angry at Sparkle. We've seen this before.
What's the rush, Chicken Wing Boy? Did I get to you?
Chicken Wing Boy again.
Our paradise is none of your concern, masked fool. Leave now, or the family won't tolerate you anymore.
All right. I'll go. But Robin, I suggest you seriously consider this. Do you really believe those living in dreams can escape pain and find true happiness?
She knows where to bite, doesn't she? She knows the weak point. Always. She knows how to get under someone's skin so easily. Like, there it is. Look, she knows how to get under someone's skin so easily.
Well, I've done my part. And now I'm simply waiting for the fireworks to begin. Here, the last two gifts for both of you.
Oh, the buttons?
And don't lose them. If by some unfortunate chance the Charmony Festival starts against all odds, remember to use them during the show.
It's the buttons again, isn't it?
It'll be thrilling. Bang!
Oh my god, a little Joker over here. Like, honestly, like, it'll be thrilling.
I heard a raven cawing in the distance. It seems the Dream Master will arrive soon.
Right. Holy freaking hell. More stuff with Sparkle once again. Yeah, like Sparkle, as I said, like as a character, like I think she like knows what she's doing. She always like loves to sow a bit of discord. She there in that moment, I think, got under Robin's skin a little bit by like, you know, understanding exactly what upsets her the most, the idea of people finding true happiness in the dreamscape. And then also like when it came to like Sunday, I feel like as well she knew as well, like, hey, like I know all your secrets, you can't be hiding stuff from me, you know what I mean? Like, calm down. Okay, let me see your license. Come here. Let me see your license. Stop. Stop in the name of the law. Alright, you know why I pulled you over? Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? no one respects Robin around here. But yeah, like she knows how to get out of people's skin. And in this case as well, she's like saying like, I know like not like nothing's I know that like this festival might not go off, but still she has this like mentality of like, well, if it does go off, take these presents, everyone presses at the same time. And the last time we heard about these buttons that you have to press was from when she was talking to Venturine, and to Venturine she said like, hey, like these buttons will are like mutual destructive buttons. So like I guess like it's one of those things where it was like a last resort for Venturine, but then again she could have been lying to Venturine as well what their exact thing is. So we'll have to see in that sense as well, like what that leads to as well. Very crazy stuff.
Wait here for the Dream Master to arrive.
Okay. By the way, brother, I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth. Back when we were kids, you used to steal my desserts.
Oh, and I heard you because remember they were a bit distant from each other, but I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth.
Seems like a lot has changed during my absence. What exactly happened?
That's a good question to ask, right?
Well, someone has to stay awake even in this sweet dream.
Oh, the responsibility that he has as well, right? The responsibility.
But that someone doesn't have to be you. Or
Yes.
anyone in particular. You're carrying too much on your shoulders, brother.
Why does it have to be you? Why does it have to be you, the person who makes this sacrifice? The same thing that was said to Adventurine about all this stuff too. Remember, Adventurine's older self said this to himself, or future self said this to his present self. Why does this have to be you? Why is it you that has to make this death sacrifice? Why is it always you? In this case, why does it have to be you that has to be the someone who like carries this burden?
The paradise in our dreams. It shouldn't be like this.
And there's Robin's whole mentality, like, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Penacony is nothing more than a dream. It can't erase the worries and pain of reality or bring true happiness. It only offers an escape from reality. Nothing more.
Yeah, and that's the crux of Robin's discussion all the time with this stuff. I feel like is like that, like, it's a band-aid.
Remember the old man we met earlier? Without this dream, he might have completely lost himself.
Mm-hmm.
That might be true, but even without Penacony, he could have chosen another path. As far as I know, the Intelligentsia Guild has been promoting their rehabilitation techniques for a long time now.
Wow, so medicine is getting better outside of Penacony now. So she's kind of like, well, like you could have tried this, something to do with the IPC,
That path may have been more ordinary and challenging, but now he's in a comatose state, and the sweet dream has become sort of end-of-life care. His fate is sealed.
Wow. Yeah, like, and I think that's the, again, as you said, like Robin's whole idea as well, like the sewers, like now that like the idea of like being free and being able to fly, getting out of that cage, it's like you don't have like this opportunity to like fly in some cases. And whilst here, like, yes, he is free from this pain, like for now, because he chose the dream, that's it. That's his choice. And his fate now is to die in the dream, or die in real life and then eventually disappear in the dream. And there's no other choice in the matter. Whereas the other path, again, would have been more, as she says, challenging. But there's probably a different chance for a different way of looking at life, maybe?
Is Penacony granting these people a future? Or is it taking it away from them?
Because it removes kind of like an agency aspect as well. It does.
Well, don't forget this. Not everyone really has a future.
But they should. They should. They should.
The future for humanity is like the sky for birds. People mistakenly believe that flight is inherent to birds because they've never witnessed those birds crashing to their death.
Oh, we heard this idea before as well, didn't we? From the Dream Master, right? Was that who said it as well?
Do you remember how we took in that little Charmony dove when we were young?
Referencing this.
Yeah. We took care of it. Provided food and water, groomed its feathers. And later, when I decided to leave Penacony, I opened the cage and set it free.
Wait, so she did that, like, both physically but in a symbolic way too?
Well, I didn't mention what happened to it in my letters because I didn't want to upset you. Shortly after you left, it crashed to its death right in front of your window.
So she did mean it more symbolically now. He's saying as well, like, this bird that was meant to fly, when it was set free, it ended up dying. Like, which again is all like symbolic, right? It all is of like again, there are opposing arguments here as well. The bird died as soon as it was given the freedom to like choose its own path, I guess.
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason.
That's an insane way of looking at this too. This bird that they took care of, which again, you could symbolize this idea of like the idea of, because that's what they related to, the idea of penacony, right? Of taking care of this bird and then eventually letting it fly in at some point as well. But actually, like, the bird ended up dying as it left the cage. So you could say that this is like, again, symbolic of the idea of like, well, once someone will actually leave here, they won't be able to stand on their own 2 feet. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, but also it is like an important thing to note about some people maybe in penacony.
Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision.
Wow.
Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages. They belong in the sky, even if they can't fly.
And that's such, again, that's such Robin's mentality, and honestly a mentality that I feel like is very like beautiful too, which is like, yes, the bird may have died. Yes, like, people may, fail and people may fall. But that's life in a lot of ways. I know it's horrible to say like, oh, the bird died, that's life. But like, it's life in a way of like, at least they got to make their own choice. At least they got to fly. And they deserve to be able to make their own choices. And not just follow one path that's just like kind of like a path of just like, as I said, like that band-aid that they put over it. Does that make sense? Where it's like I think that's what they're going for here. It's like the idea of like, and it's in plain English. It's like people in penacony deserve to still be able to fly, even though there's a chance that some of them will fall and crash.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Sunday's being a bit more, like, you can hear the tone of his voice changing here as well, a bit strenuous as well. Because he's saying if there's birds in the world that can never fly, that's talking again about people. If there's people in this world that don't have that chance to fly in the real world, do they belong outside of penacony?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
I think this whole conversation since the start was about humans too, Robin, if I'm being honest.
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. However, only a few extraordinary individuals can endure such a perilous journey. That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails, an abandoned express, and even a fallen eon?
Is he saying that, like, only the only Trailblazers could make these journeys without an eon? They have to be, like, extraordinary. They can't just be ordinary? So, like, not everyone is meant to be a Trailblazer is what he's saying here.
That's just sophistry. If that were true, then only the powerful would have the right to determine the
I agree.
future.
I 100% agree with what Robin's saying here. Because we shouldn't get to determine who gets to choose whether they get to fly or not, who gets to choose if they want to try and be a Trailblazer or not. At that point, then it is only like the people who are deemed to be strong that will get to have any advantage in life.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value.
Yeah, but we can fight against that. You know what I mean? That's what Robin wants to do. Robin wants to give everyone a chance. Sunday, and I know again, this is what I'm talking about when they say the switch is not fully off with Sunday. 100%. I do feel like he's trapped. He is also a victim of the corrupted harmony and penacony, right? I do feel like this mentality that he has comes from years upon years of being this figurehead of the Oak family. I feel like it is a cage amongst himself as well, upon himself as well.
While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, The majority of ordinary people will never become heroes.
Yeah, but they should also get to strive to just be whoever they want and to do whatever they want.
Some are born weak and vulnerable.
Yeah.
Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances.
Yes.
Some fall victim to malice and cowardice. When it comes to survival, everyone is equal. And the weak can only watch as their value gets constantly diminished by external forces.
So he's saying their future is also their value, right? And I guess that's what he's saying, the idea of, like, you know, how people deem their own value in life. And to have a value, it's almost like intrinsically, you know, joined together with your future as well. But, like, again, like, what he's saying here does feel like it comes from a place of seeing this happen over and over again, where people who are deemed to be more weak, who fall victim to malice, who are born into unfortunate circumstances, who are deemed, and again, I don't want to say they're weak, who are deemed to be weak, but are probably vulnerable in a lot of ways, are constantly diminished by, and it is true, this happens in life, by the way, where people who are down on their luck and people who are born into a bad life, people who are victims to other people's malice and other people's cowardice, people who, people who are, like, again, who don't have any, like, say sometimes in how they are treated, right, usually do get treated horribly. And in a lot of cases, they can only just, like, sit back and either, like, you know, see, like, what's happening to them. And again, that stuff, horrible stuff does happen to vulnerable people a lot. It does. It does happen a lot. And it's clearly that this has come from a place, again, as we said for Sunday, of seeing this happen over and over and over again, to the point of, like, a pure frustration in Sunday's voice now, where he's like, this is how life is. Whereas Robin's come to a perspective, which I truly believe as well, which is like, yes, but, like, people should still, even if you're vulnerable, even if you're deemed to be weak, even if you fall into bad circumstances, that shouldn't be your whole life. That shouldn't be.
That's why we should care for the weak.
Yes.
And support them as if their suffering were our own. That's what the Odes of Harmony have always
And again, the harmony has been corrupted. Like, and again, what Robin is saying here, it's about giving people, and we said last time, it's about giving people the support that they need to move forward. And once they have that support to be able to move forward and stand on their own 2 feet, life becomes easier. Because that's what should happen in real life too. People who are vulnerable, people who are in unlucky situations, people who are victims of malice and cowardice, the people who aren't in that position, like Robin and Sunday, well, you know, I don't want to say Robin and Sunday aren't in a position where they're all not also suffering in some way too, but you know what I mean? People who have the ability to help should help. And when they do help, then the eventual wish, if they are helped properly, and there's no bigger external outside sources, which happen sometimes too, affecting things as well, they should be allowed to move forward and stand on their own 2 feet.
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong.
No.
And the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. Human nature contains greatness, but it also harbors inherent weaknesses that can't be eradicated.
He's trapped by this belief. He is trapped 100% by this belief.
In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future.
Illusory.
As long as the law of survival of the fittest prevails, there will always be fledglings crashing to their death.
Jesus Christ. And yeah, and he's saying as long as there's people in this world that believe that they are the ones who, like, get to decide what's happening, they're like, and as long as, like, you know, the quote unquote weak and vulnerable will always succumb to the strong, quote unquote, and powerful, there's always going to be those birds who exit their cage and try to make something of themselves and would just crash to their death. Again, I do think Sunday is trapped by this belief. This is something that clearly, you can see him closing his eyes here, straining. This isn't something that he's happy about. This isn't something, if he could believe otherwise, I think he would in 2 seconds.
But if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you, my brother, don't believe that the Harmony will save the weak, then which eon can make our dreams come true?
You. Not eons, you. You guys can. You guys should. The deep sigh as well.
People often forget that When the first bird took flight, the entire world envisioned a future where no more fledglings would ever crash to their death.
We heard about this as well from Welt, right? This idea as well.
Are you reading, sister? What are you reading?
Is this them?
Mr. Gopherwood gave me a picture.
It is them.
It's about the story of the harmonic strings.
Guileless girl, by the way.
If I could become a chord master, I'd like to summon Dominicus, the harmonious choir.
Wow.
I want to sing with everyone and spread our wishes so that all can feel happiness and joy.
So this is obviously her, like, in her hopes and aspirations about being what she will eventually become, which is the chord master.
I see. Then I would summon the harmonious choir too.
It's so sad hearing them now, like, in their conversation, like, and how, like, strained Sunday's voice is, how much pain you could hear it, and how much, like, sadness is in Robin's voice. And here you see this very hopefulness about the harmony, right?
Don't you have a wish of your own, brother?
You're just borrowing her wish as well, I guess, right?
Of course I do. It's just that...
Oh.
It includes your wish and everyone else's. I long for a true paradise.
No.
Where everyone can find peace.
At one stage, he had the hopefulness that everyone at some stage could find peace. His own wish includes everyone's wishes. What a sweet, sweet sentiment.
Then let's build a stage there and invite everyone to our performance so that both our wishes come true through the power of the harmonious choir.
There's such a hopefulness to this, isn't there?
It's a deal.
There's such a hopeful nature to this.
Yeah, it's a deal. But how can I become a chord master?
How can you?
Maybe you will have to become a star first.
Interesting. Whoa, I thought we were going straight to the meeting. 8 hours?
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
So, first of all, like, just before we go any further, like, I'm going to be talking about it a bit as well, like, in more in depth, I guess, as well. Look at this crew here, by the way. Girl crew. Like, the conversation between... It's so interesting because Robin and Sunday reunited. It was a reuniting that was, like, very calm and very collected and very cool, right? It was like, I even said it felt like it wasn't, like, something that was too extreme or too, like... It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, you know? And, like, you know, while I say that, like, you know, I whenever, like, I try to critique something, I always do it in a way that's, like, you know, fair, and I feel like, you know, there's no point harping on it. I would definitely probably have wanted, like, a bigger reunion, but I also think that if you relate it to this idea now, I feel like what's happening here with these characters, or what's happening with Robin and Sunday for the whole time when they did meet up with each other, before they met up with each other, before this moment, is that it felt like they were, like, kind of, like, not... It was on the verge of that conversation happening at any moment, and you could feel that throughout the entire conversation they were having. So I feel like the very, like, calm and cool and collected reunion they had, I wonder it was because they were probably, like, feeling each other out and being like, well, what does Sunday think now? And, like, oh, what does he think about my new feelings? How does he see this happening? And you could tell every time they were having a conversation with someone else, they were giving back and forth their feelings to the point, and everyone was being very calm about it, but there was, like, always, like, a slight tension in everything they were doing. And then when they got to that final moment of that conversation with each other, Sunday even, like, acted like he usually doesn't act. He became Sunday for a bit, where he was kind of expressing his feelings on the harmony and the idea of, like, how people... Again, I think it is a feeling of, like, someone who feels like maybe they gave up in a lot of ways on the idea of things getting better for people. And I think that's honestly, like, a very, like, sad thing to think about with him, because it's very clear that he had the hopes for the whole world on his shoulders for a very long time. And I hope that he can snap out of that in some way, right? Because obviously Robin's perspective is, even if people are going to fail, they deserve a chance at reaching for the moon, right? And Sunday's perspective is, well, people shouldn't take that chance because some people are just not meant to fly. And that's such a sad way of looking at things when, you know, clearly when he was younger, he held everyone's hopes and dreams in such high regard. Robin, I totally agree with as well. People who are vulnerable in society deserve the help and care and support from people so that they can also move on their own 2 feet, right? That's the way I see it. But it's such a tension-filled conversation between the two of them because there was no hatred for each other there. In fact, I think the reason why there was so much tension in the conversation is they have such love for each other, is that they didn't want to upset the other one, that they were trying to express themselves in a way that was like very like direct. But you could tell that they were also like trying not to overstep any, like you saw Sunday was doing the heavy sigh sometimes. Robin was looking down at her shoes a lot. I really felt like they were trying not to like upset each other too much. But it's very clear that there's like on one side, you know, someone still holds those hopes and dreams on her shoulders or wants to hold those hopes and dreams on her shoulders, while Sunday is quite the opposite. It feels like he's kind of like given up on that stuff as well.
Yes. And now, it's up to us to forge ahead.
Himiko's hair is stunning. It's always been stunning.
Since his last will has now been conveyed, my final mission is complete.
Wait, so his last will was conveyed? Wait, what?
But pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. The path Mikhail left for you is not an easy one to tread. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude, staking everything on some nameless in the future? But you have the numbers, and in numbers comes strength. So that might just delay your inevitable a little more.
Look at this. Girl crew.
Got any more encouraging?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows us to meet them as equals and won't grant us an upper hand.
True.
Penacony is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. Rather than idly sit around while the family's got us blocked off, an offensive approach might be a wiser
Oh
course
my
of action.
god, I love when Himiko gets like a plan on her mind as well, because again, we support her so much. She's been so supportive of us. Like it's like you can see the spark in her eyes, you know.
We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stabilizing the sweet dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. And as the saying goes, haste makes waste.
Sorry, there's like a dog barking and it was distracting me for a second. Let me reread this. Since this key to stabilizing the sweet dream. Sorry, we're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since this key to stabilizing the sweet dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. So there we go. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry about that. Like, it's just very, very rare to hear a dog so loud. But I'm sure he's having not a great day if he's barking like that. So by attacking there's something that they're truly interested in and something that is the key to a lot of the stuff they use here in Penacony, then they're going to like be a bit hasty about it. And this is something we've seen throughout many stories throughout history. It's the idea of like if you back someone into a corner or make someone very nervous, they're going to make more mistakes.
That's right.
Firefly!
As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron, either with words or otherwise, we have a chance at gaining the upper hand.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I love it because again, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
But the problem is, on the eve of the Charmony Festival opening, how exactly are we going to get close to the theater?
Oh yeah.
Family security will be airtight. And if we brute force it, even if we succeed, it's too risky.
Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense. There would be more like security around there as well. Himiko has an idea?
So, no one's gonna say anything?
Huh?
Then I'll raise my hand. I know the answer to this question.
Let's go, March. You have all. I would never say this to March. Of course you do. I never doubted you for a sec. Looks like we have one more ace up our sleeves. Time for the master stroke. I'm gonna say this, and it better not be taken as a joke.
Why are you speaking like the general of the law?
I feel like I can never say the right things to Marge, even though I want to say that she's amazing all the time.
So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there will be a pageant to kick off the festival.
Okay.
It's called the Soul Glad TM Festivity Auditions.
or something, and it's going to be held in the moment of scorched sand. As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of Festive Superstar.
Wait, really?
And be able to
Wait.
personally bask in the graces of Miss Robin.
Oh my god.
Not that that's important. What's crucial is that we can enter the Grand Theater before the audience arrives.
Sure. I love. Wait, are we entering a pageant? Wait. I love that she's like, I'll be able to enter the graces of Ms. Robin. We're actually entering in a pageant.
So, how do we go
Come
about
on.
participating in these festivities?
You telling me these 4 girls are gonna win? The little laugh?
Already procured special invite tickets from Miss Robin's fan
Oh my
club.
god, March.
To tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the auditions all along. But now it looks like even if I scrape through, I probably still won't have the chance to shake Miss Robin's hand.
I guarantee you, after all this is done, Robin will shake your hand. I guarantee you, March. I love that her love for Robin is still here. Because it was definitely a thing since the start of this whole journey in Penacony. She adores Robin so much.
So they're still running this thing, huh? It was originally just a publicity stunt, set up by Mikhail to drum up attention. But it looks like it might be worth a shot.
And I love that the plan that works comes from Robin's love for celebrities, right? For sure.
We'll follow March's plan. Mr. Gallagher, will you be joining us?
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As a virtual character, I've already completed my final mission. Whether Penacony can awaken from this dream is all down to you.
So he's saying he's done? Like I guess he is. By the way, as a virtual character, by the way, so he's saying he does, like, is it because he's an amalgamation of all the other people in the Bloodhound family? So he's done. Like, his mission is complete because getting us here was the mission. Getting a trailblazer to see this thing was the mission.
Should we ever cross paths again? I'd love for you to visit the Express.
All right. I'll have to add to that data bank of yours you've got on the Express.
Sure, 100%. That's amazing because that was his goal, right? To get a trailblazer in front of that bubble.
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy. As long as the Astral Express and Stellaron Hunters' objectives are aligned, we're willing to cooperate with you.
Stellaron Hunters, let's go.
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey.
Yes.
I'm pleased that we can finally fight shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't ask for a better.
Don't say ending. Let's not say ending.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone, let's prepare to move.
Oh my god, we're going with March's plan. We're joining a pageant. What the hell? Wait, we're just here? Wait, what is this? Oh god, that is aggressive. This is aggressive.
Wow, they've really outdone themselves. Oh, I'm starting to get excited.
Oh my god, March is so happy. This is crazy. The music in the background's so aggressive too. This is such an aggressive way to do this.
Is he talking about us?
Of course, look at you guys. Look at you. You're gonna win any pageant. Look at the 4E. Heck yeah.
Excuse me, you four. What are you hoping to get out of all
Oh my god, No, they're celebrities now.
As the
No,
last group of
stop.
contestants, how confident are you in overcoming all of the challenges?
This is actually gonna be. There's gonna be some challenges.
Would you be open to a brief exclusive interview with us? It'll be
Wait till you hear about March 7th, the loveliest gal who ever lived.
Your journey is long and fraught with peril, yet under a sky blanketed by banners, you vie for the crown.
Sure.
Magnificent and majestic.
So this is a big deal. This is definitely a big deal.
A knight's head is hard as steel. Brother Lance Focus is stubborn as a heel. We don't all have to be winners, but if we don't have fun, we don't.
Oh my god, all these like these entertainment jargon.
People are pouring in. Kind of feels like all sorts of baddies are showing up.
Baddies?
Let's get in there quickly and enter the competition.
Did Mark say baddies?
Ladies and gentlemen, please make way. Make way.
Who's this?
Coming towards us now is one of penacony's top 10 wealthiest tycoons and the sole
Wait, what?
business empire's founder, Mr. ID.
What?
Allow me to introduce.
Is that not the guy who was sick?
I'm the director of Solglad's factory, Idean Leader. My four friends, introduce yourselves to the audience across the cosmos.
Is that not the guy who was on life support?
Hello.
This music, oh my freaking god.
A nameless from the Astral Express, and these are my companions.
Instant win. Have you seen March? This is what you call sweetest sweetheart who ever lived. If we lose, the game is rigged. It's the end. You lose all credibility.
Don't you guys need to hide your identities?
I think she's goading him out. I think she wants to.
Can't hide it anyways. Penacony is plastered with our posters. And because the Astral Express is so well known, the family won't dare to make any rash moves.
Wow. Oh my god, hello, I'm the Galactic Baseballer, and she says cheese. Hello everyone, I'm hello everyone. Is it a really good idea to have a talent show in the pivotal moments of her story? It is. I'm the Galactic Baseballer, say cheese. I'm up for this. No, let's introduce March 7th as well.
Hello everyone, I'm March 7th. I'm an ordinary girl who loves
Yeah, she's amazing. She's more than ordinary though. She's amazing.
Hello, everyone. I'm Firefly. I am also an ordinary girl who enjoys adventures.
This is so sweet.
So it's a bunch of nameless guests. This final face-off is bound to be spectacular. Time is precious. My four friends, come with
This is so fun. This is such a fun idea. Oh my god, the advertisements as well. Guys, this is insane. Look at how aggressive this is. Like when they said pageant, I didn't know it was gonna be like a full-on studio. Like look at this. Like there's cameras, there's journalists, there's like, you know, a whole like advertisements and like a TV special. And I love as well how like we got to introduce ourselves as well in such a funny way too. Like look at the lights on the ground even. This is wild. When I heard pageant, I genuinely thought it was gonna be like, and next up is the lovely Miss March, and she comes on like with her dress like da 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 da, you know, da 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 da. And I was like, oh my god, amazing! Because again, I haven't seen much pageant, so maybe like, you know what I mean? I've only seen clips of like the Rose of Tralee or something like that in Ireland, or like the, you know, like Miss Universe. You see like a clip from like who wins Miss Universe or something like that. So I don't know how they work, but like I still think that like, you know, that's what I got the impression of. Oh, this looks like it's gonna be a full-on like aggressive challenge. Look at the upside-down pyramid here. This is a fun idea. I do love this cell was like, hey, is this the right idea to be doing this? Right, we're gonna go. We're gonna be ending the video here. But still, like, absolutely stunning stuff. Oh, Sela and oh yeah, I remember Genuine and Sela were here, but last time I was here. Yeah. Very cool. But yeah, it's so fun. Such a fun idea. So aggressive. So wild. I love it. I do love that idea as well. But we're going to be like coming to a close with this episode. And honestly, like, I'm excited to see what's going to come next with this. Honestly. Oh my god, prepare to make your entrance. We're making our entrance. We had our introductions. March 7th and Firefly. I love that March 7th was so prepared for this idea, but which I love again, her idea was the one that we went with, because again, she's not dumb. She's never been dumb. No one's ever seen her as dumb. She's a character that I feel like is like carefree and funny. I think they can sometimes be seen as like less than smart, but I think that she's so emotionally intelligent and also just intelligent in her own right as well. Because everyone has different kinds of intelligence. Obviously, she doesn't know the same thing Dan Heng does, right? But do you think Dan Heng is coming up with something as crafty and as smart as this as well? No. Everyone has different types of intelligence. Everyone does things their own way, and she did such a good job with that too. Love the turn that this story is taking. Love the idea that we have here as well. It's actually so cool to me. It really is. But that is going to do for this episode, guys. We'll talk about everything that happened in this episode too, because there's a lot. My heart is kind of sunk and kind of nervous about what's going to happen next, if I'm being honest. But I feel like that's going to happen a lot of times too. Let's park here for a second. We have Sela in the background for all you guys as well. All you Sela fans out there. So maybe we can like talk about some of this stuff too. So we started with like just the Boot Hill and Dan Heng stuff, and that was just like really fun. I love the odd couple stuff there. I love the idea that they were like had such a when I say odd couple, I mean like I don't mean they're dating. I mean like odd couple isn't like that's a common theme in stories that always works, which is like put two people that are so opposite to each other together, and it's such a fun time. I think it works as well because Boot Hill's not a bad dude, so you actually have like this very fun encounter between the two of them, and I actually found it to be really, really enjoyable in a lot of ways too. They kind of like worked their way into getting into like side of the pub, and then eventually like they worked their way into getting that what was it, the wine, Astana the Astana white wine, so they can meet up with Black Swan, and Black Swan did meet up with them. And in like one of the most amazing things ever, like just like, and it's just like Acheron to do this. Acheron shows up, and then like in that moment, you realize that maybe she chose to like kind of upset the Galaxy Rangers in a way, which she did. Like she upset Boot Hill to the point that he points a gun at her in his usual like way, where he arches his hips and like sticks his shoulder blades out, you know what I mean, and thrusts himself forward, around the lower regions and goes forwards and points a gun at someone. He does that because again, it drew him out of hiding. Because again, as you said, it's not easy to get a hold of a Galaxy Ranger because they don't have like just a front office. You can't just call them and be like, hey, can I order a Galaxy Ranger? Can my one have a snatched waist? You can't just do that, right? You just can't do that. I actually think it's very interesting that like she kind of revealed that, yeah, that's why she became a Galaxy Ranger, or said she was a Galaxy Ranger. In a lot of ways too. And I wonder if she said she was a part of the hunt as well in order to like maybe strike fear into people, or maybe it was also like she wanted someone from the hunt to kind of notice as well, possibly. We noticed that Acheron then had this flashback, but I guess more just us seeing this, where she was standing behind another Galaxy Ranger as they looked out into this vast ocean with this black rain falling down upon them. And he was talking about how the black rain has gone on for as long as he can basically remember. But there was these hands reaching out of the water, and they were called Sin-Thirsters. And Sin-Thirsters are pathwalkers who are on this endless loop after their death, I think, where basically like they think that they're changing their path, but actually they're coming from Nihility and heading towards Nihility. So it's like this endless loop of just like being born from Nihility, ends up in Nihility, and it's kind of like this like never-ending factory of Nihility, I think, as well in that way too. It feels like their life is kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Even though one of the things that like is so interesting that like he says there, is that like, I can't basically like say to them like, would you like to be left alone in this way too? And he doesn't want to leave them alone. He even says that after he dies, he would love if like someone remembered him. And I do think that's like one of the reasons he's standing there, is because so much stuff has happened to him that he feels like his life is kind of like forfeit anyway. But he's standing in front of these Sin-Thirsters, kind of like saying like, hey, like I would love if someone put flowers on my grave after I died. And I think that's him saying like, hey, I'm standing here looking out for them. Hopefully I can send them towards transcendence. And Acheron kind of questions it a little bit, like, do you think there's a point to this or whatever? Is it pointless? And his response about the flowers basically says, like, I would hope that, like, after I go, someone would care about me as well. But yeah, another interesting thing about the Sin-Thirsters, the Nihility, like them being born out of this, like, the Nihility and going to Nihility as well, these Pathstriders. And they still mean something to him. These people are still something to him. Before they were this, they were, like, amazing people that didn't deserve to be in this mode. He believes that they deserve to have, like, a happy, transcendent, I guess, like, moving on as well. Really, really, I would say, like, beautiful scene in a very dark way, but it also like sells the idea to me as well, the idea of the Nihility and how doom and gloom this can be as well, but also, you know, Acheron's journey as well, because said she wants to give something back to this Galaxy Ranger. And also at the same time, too, she says she's going to be exploring the idea of the Nihility, so she'll come back and give him that information. So maybe it's the information that he wants as well, because she, honestly, I feel like cares more than even the game, you know, let us know yet, but I feel like that's the way she is as well. A very interesting scene, very beautiful visual at the same time, too. We had the confession scene as well with Sunday, and I think once again I took this as them showcasing that Sunday was already in a rut at this point, already had given up maybe a little bit as well, or at least like on the surface given up, but I still think there's probably something inside him that could be changed, just like anybody. There's the seeds for growth in any character in that way too, but I feel like he was talking to all these people, he's listening to these sins, and like these sins aren't comparable. One person said that they dropped a freaking dish on the ground and still served it. Yes, that's awful. But at the same time, too, he was excommunicated and he was forgiven. At the same time, too, someone comes in and says that they sold their children to slavery. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's cool as well. These aren't comparable. But again, that's like one of the problems, I guess, with that, the showcasing with the idea of the harmony and the following of Sheepa and all this stuff, too, and like all this stuff. It's like, how do you compare the sins of selling your children to slavery versus the sins of someone dropping a food forward? You can't, because they're not comparable in any way, shape, or form. They're just not. But that whole crux of that conversation was the showcase to me. Not only was like his election to become the head of the Oak family very much paid for, is that he doesn't have the agency that, like, you know, we think he has. He very much is like a representation of penacony in the sense that he also is being controlled to me as well. He's not someone that gets to choose his own destiny, his own path either. And I feel like that's an important thing to note, is that like he's not choosing his own path. He's very much like stuck, as I said, stuck in that rut, stuck in that feeling of like, what can I do, or like, you know, what can we do at this stage? And we see that much later as well, because he's there kind of like hand on his chin, listening to these people talk about the stuff. He just sighs and kind of moves on with the stuff. And I kind of likened the box that he had around him to be kind of like a cage as well. But again, very biblical, very religious. It gave me a very like suffocating and claustrophobic feeling to this. I think it was intentional as well, but also just a very magnificent scene at the same time too. They talk about how, like, I think Robin was saying that the Harmonious Choir won't show up. And she said this to Welt as well, like the Harmonious Choir won't show up if I don't show up, because she was like this person that was chosen. What was the actual name for the thing that they call it as well? The chords? This is the chords of harmony or something like that? Where if the chords of harmony don't show up, which I guess is the voice that was chosen by the harmony, then the actual representation of the harmony, the Harmonious Choir won't show up either. The whole idea of this, like, again, it was a beautiful thing at first to see Sunday and Robin go around together as brother and sister, but you could very much tell, as I said, the way I described it was like one person's switch was kind of turned off in terms of like they truly believe that there's a better life out there than penacony. While I feel like in a lot of ways, in the most claustrophobic sense, listening to Sunday talk felt like I was being trapped. It felt like I was like being closed in. Like it felt like it's almost like, you know, a bubbling of a frustration. You're just like, you want so badly just to be like, no, dude, come on. She questions the idea, is this even living? While we also see the other idea, which is like, well, no, the ideal, he said the ideal, like a value of life, and I guess that also represents people's future, and people trying to like make their own values upon their lives as well. But like she asked the question, is it truly living to hide away from the true world and stuff? Because as well, whereas Sunday's perspective seems to be like, you know, not everyone is made for the real world, which again, I don't believe that he truly believes this. I think he's just been beaten into the idea of this. Not physically beaten, but I think he's been beaten down so much that he just like agrees with this idea because of all the pain and suffering he's seen and stuff like this as well. We bump into Sparkle, and Sparkle had such like a great tone as well with these characters. Like she's so playful with this stuff too. But she said, like, as well, like, hey, like, you know, I know what's happening. Like, you don't have to hide it from me. And, you know, like, at some point, and even, like, she was definitely trying to poke at the two of them, right? Poking at what hurts them the most. Even, like, with I keep saying March. With Robin, there's, like, this idea of, like, you know, playing up her, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Empathy for people, you know what I mean? And the idea of like where that empathy is going to take her. And I really felt like, you know, Robin was taken back by that too. And of course, then once again, giving the gifts to these characters as saying like, hey, here's more of the stuff for the Charity Festival. Let's hope it goes off without a hitch. She even said like, I heard that the Charity Festival might not even go off like at all. Yeah. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that because again, I think Sparkle was there to showcase as well that like that again, a lot of people know about what's happening, but at the same time too, they're still building up to whatever Sparkle has planned as well. She has something planned for this too at the same time too. But also like, you know, playing up that she also like, you know, read them easily. They both have different opposing views and was able to get under their skin very, 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 very quickly. Even joking that she like did something for the family and stuff because as well, which we know not to be true. You know what I mean? It's not like she was giving them a gift or whatever. I keep saying March. Robin was said that penacony can only basically put a band-aid and stuff. Yes, it can soothe people, but it can't erase the true pain that people have in life, right? And there's this idea that like, you know, you can't really escape this, right? Escape this idea of like the pain. You can't truly escape the pain. And she believes that like honestly like people deserve the right to be able to like move on and spread their wings and fly, which is why when she left the family and left, you know, the idea of like this behind, she also opened the cage door to the bird that she had, which was the bird, which was a representation when they were younger of, again, their opposing views as well, which again, I'm not saying that Sunday always had these views of like, I think everyone should be happy, but he did, when they were younger, believe in people's dreams and hopes, but he also said that he believed in what Robin said now, and again, it's interesting that Robin is taking on what Sunday said, which is like, we give people the support, we give them the help, we give them the hope, and then they walk on their own 2 feet. And that's what she was trying to say here with this bird. It's like, yes, the bird may have fallen, because that's what Sunday's opposition was saying, that like, well, not everyone is made for this. The bird escaped the cage and he died. And he said that to her. And again, it was the reason that was referenced there when they were talking about this was because it's a representation of whoever leaves this cage has to go into the real world, which is all about survival and fear and suffering. Because he talked about how the idea of vulnerable people are constantly taking advantage of people. The people who are deemed to be weak will be taken advantage of. And we know this to be true. This is a fact. People who are born into unlucky circumstances usually are beaten down more and more emotionally and sometimes physically by people who believe they are stronger. And even if you build up a resistance to this stuff, something else in life will come and take down a vulnerable person again as well. This is true, but what Robin opposed this in saying was saying that like, well, yes, this bird died. Yes, vulnerable people get hurt when they escape the cage. Yes, when they leave the cage, they have to fend for themselves. But they deserve the right to be able to fall. That's what her whole point is. Yes, it's wrong. Yes, it's horrible that people suffer in real life. But they deserve the chance to get that. First of all, again, I love what she said. She's not just saying just drop them out and throw them out into the world. She's repeating what Sunday said when they were kids. Let's take care of them from now and then let them free. That was always the plan. But obviously the bird was kept, and how amazing is that was as an analogy. The bird was kept in the cage for too long, and that's probably why they didn't survive as well. Because they were kept in the cage for too long, they didn't want to set it free, that when Robin finally set it free, it didn't know what to do in the outside world. Because again, the help that it probably got was just like, hey, just stay in the cage. But like, again, Robin repeated what he said as a kid, which is like, we should keep it here for now, then set it free. And that's what Robin's whole point is. That people deserve a chance to fail. And he said something that was a quote from earlier as well, which is about the birds, is that everyone thinks that the idea that like flight is not something that's like, you know, that everyone can do. And he used the analogy of the Astral Express as well, as that the Astral Express people are made to be Astral Express people because they don't have a god, they don't have a set path, they don't have all this stuff. So they must be more powerful. They have to be more powerful. Whereas again, Robin counters back, well, people should be allowed to see if they could become a trailblazer, you know what I mean? Which the trailblazers would let anyone in as long as they were determined enough, you know what I mean? But again, it's that idea of like, you know, in here they're protected, quote unquote, but outside they have to fly in their own and they fall and they die. And he even said that like people watch birds fly and that what makes them think that they can do that as well. But just because one bird is flying doesn't mean everyone else can fly. And people watch other people live their lives and they think that maybe I can do that. But his point is like maybe they won't be able to do that. But I much more believe in Robin's point, which is again, it's true for real life too. Giving vulnerable people help, giving them support, giving them that help they need to integrate into society and be a part of the world and learn to live their own life and stand on their own 2 feet is better than just hiding them away and not helping them with that whatsoever. You know what I mean? And I totally am on the side of Robin with this stuff, 100%. Because I truly believe that in Sunday's case, he is trapped by the things that he's seen, how close he's gotten with the family, the stuff that they've beaten into his head as well. It's all there, like kind of like trapping him as well. We saw even a vision when they were kids where he even said like Robin was like, my dream is to do this. And again, her dream was to like sing on the stage and have like the harmonious choir join her so she can grant some wishes. But in reality, she's foregoing her dream now because she realizes that it's the best for all of penacony. Whereas in the opposite way, you have Sunday now, who was, when he was a kid, was saying like something that he doesn't feel now at all, it feels like, or maybe deep down he still does. I want to fulfill everybody's dreams. I want to carry everyone's dreams on my shoulders. And that's a stunning idea. And it's something that it probably is still deep down in him, but right now he's lost from years, again, of being privy to the family, being treated poorly by the family, of feeling trapped. And I feel like that's definitely what got to him there. I really feel like that is the way that's happened. Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Now we've come on to the idea of this pageant. I'm so excited for this. I think it's such a good idea. It's such a crazy idea. It's such an interesting and fun idea to, again, while these things are going to be serious, it's a very fun idea to like send the 4 girls into this like, talent show basically thing. And I'm so excited to see how that goes. It's just a really like fun idea. And I love as well that like they show, again, this is why it's good writing. March's feelings towards Robin as her as a celebrity can just be seen as a passing joke. But usually sometimes, even if there is passing jokes sometimes, they might come back in the end. Like I truly believe this is the type of game where Don Hung will be like, I have a love for frogs, and everyone goes, that's weird, just as a joke, and everyone goes, ha ha ha, and then like 3 chapters later he's like, wait, we're on a frog world, Don Hung, you know what I mean? Like I truly believe that they drop things into certain places and call back to them in a very natural way, because like it makes sense that March would be the one to be able to figure this stuff out because she knows the most about Robin and these pageants and all this celebrity stuff as well. And once again showcasing how she's such a valuable member of the team and such a brilliant part of the team. I adore her so much. Absolutely loved the way they did this. It was amazing. And now we have this like very loud, flamboyant, and aggressively bouncy pageant that they're going to enter in, and it's going to be like a very fun thing as well. Yeah, that's all my thoughts on everything that's happening so far. I think it's been really, really incredible, especially the stuff we got to see now. We've had claustrophobic scenes like the stuff at the church or the confession booth. We've had like some really like funny scenes with Don Hung and Boot Hill, and like the stuff with Acheron showing up as well, which is honestly really incredible too. Like I really loved the Acheron reveal of like, hey, she's with Black Swan, in this moment, the dance partners. We had the stuff with Robin and Sunday walking around with each other where you could feel that tension, and then like the difference of opinions that they had, which was like so aggressively, again, I use the word claustrophobic because that's why I feel when I look at Sunday. I feel claustrophobic. I feel trapped when I listen to Sunday talk. And I feel like he probably feels that way in some way too. And also, yeah, we're going into a pageant. There's lots of stuff happening here. I find it to be all very interesting and very, very cool. Some beautiful scenes. I see, again, the artwork, again, what they're able to do with those scenes, like Acheron standing in the rain, Sunday standing there in the booth. What they're able to do with the artwork in this, in general, is just incredible. How they're able to, they can set me up for 20 minutes of just talking about this one scene without any, like, moving visuals or, like, cutscenes. It's just, like, get the idea of the story just by facial expression. Lovely stuff. Right now, I think that like in Penacony, the characters are so vibrant and interesting too. Like the fact that like every time we switch, it's like, oh yes, they could switch me like right now, like a back and forth. And I think that like it's almost like I'm not for remaking games ever, right? I want to make that clear, right? And we're making games that are just new games, right? But it wouldn't be so cool if they released like Xian Shou and Belobog Part 2, because I love those stories. But can you imagine like if you're switching back and forth perspectives all the time and playing as Sela in certain moments in Bronya? It'd be really, really fun as well. So I like that they added this feature to it. It's very, very cool. It's very, very, very cool. Love this stuff. Love it a lot. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for being so cool and being so awesome. This was a... Yeah, it's pretty really great time as well, and I want to thank everyone for being so awesome as usual. You're absolutely great. If you want to become a member, you can down below. If you want to become a patron, you can down below as well. If you become a member at the highest tier, or the second highest tier, where you get added into the credits of every single video, I thank you so much. It's a very new thing, and I think a lot of people still are like, You don't have to do it, but like it's always amazing if you do it. But like please let me know. Don't be ashamed to be like, oh yeah, hey, like that I did that. Because again, YouTube doesn't notify me this, so I have to like check it manually every few days. So please let me know, and I can get you in there as quick as possible, because I want to be able to do that. So thank you so much to my patrons, first of all, Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghosty Nizuma, Felicious Felix, Yuld, Radish, Anusta, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Casparian, Jared Beanham, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Royal Grandma 7, Blasco, and brand new member at the highest tier, Lusanagi. Thank you so much for becoming a member. It honestly means the world to me that like people are like joining the YouTube tier as well, the high tier as well, because again, it does help quite a bit too. And I want to say thank you so much for becoming a new member at the highest tier. And also, YouTube doesn't notify me of, and I've probably said this in a few other videos too, but like again, people watch different videos, but YouTube doesn't notify me of new members for some reason, which I think it should. And I didn't see it for a second there, so thank you so much for being a member of the highest tier. Thank you to all my members as well, but Lusanagi, thank you there, and you'll be in the credits going forward and being called out at the end of the video.